Welcome, Pewter Report readers, viewers, and listeners to a brand new edition of the Pewter Gameday show. It's a Sunday game for the Bucs. Their season is on the line. They have to defeat the Miami Dolphins this afternoon. Well, technically they don't, but they should to help their playoff chances. And the Bucs really trying to get out of the mud after losing 6 of 7. But we're going to be on the call for today's game. I'm your host, Matt Matera. Joined with me is my fellow co-host of the Pewter Gameday show, Daniel Morales. Daniel, how you doing, my man?
Doing good. I'm a little nervous for this team. I don't know what to expect. This should be a winnable game, but with this team, who knows? Yeah. This isn't safe.
You and I were talking just before we started about how difficult it is to predict what's going to happen with this team because they play well on one side, they can't execute on the other side, and it's situational football to me is what's really done them in over really the last month and during this losing streak.
And 2 back-to-back late fourth quarter interceptions thrown by Baker Mayfield. They got to clean up these turnovers as well, especially late in the game. Here we go. Miami's going to get the ball first.
I like that. Let Tampa Bay get the ball in the second half. And shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you for joining with us today. We'll say hello to Carl G, who says, "Let's go Bucs." Cincy Kid says, "Hello, Pewter people."
Tampa.
What up to you? Hey, as Bucs fan responds with as well. Hello to you, David Dosher, who says, checking down from Starkville, Mississippi, praying to the football gods. Yep, they're going to need that today. Q44 says, "Let's go Bucs." And appreciate each and every one of you. We'll be super interactive during the whole game as Miami's going to start throwing it. Small completion to the tight end, not Darren Waller, but we're off to the races.
Yeah, to me, one of the keys to the game is you got to win. If you're the Buccaneers defense, you got to win early. This is the Miami Dolphins. They're one of the worst teams on third downs. They ranked 28th for the entire season. And last week, they converted third downs at a 20% rate, which is horrible. So if you can win these early downs, you put them in a really bad position, something they really haven't been able to do all season, convert third down. And here we go. First down and some more here by the running back.
Oh, geez. A late flag on the play. We'll see what that is. And that was Washington, who we spoke about in the Pewter pregame show. A small wide receiver with a ton of speed will probably match up with Jacob Parrish a lot. But the penalty is going to be on Miami. So Tampa Bay gets helped out a little bit with the late penalty.
And Malik Washington is kind of like Tez Johnson, where the 40 time isn't exactly there. I think he ran a 4.41 or 4.47. But the playing speed is he has that short area quickness. Really, really similar to Tez Johnson.
Yeah, that's why I feel like the combine is a little overhyped. It's like, oh my God, this guy can run a 4.3, but it's like, okay, you can run a 4.3 without a corner jamming you at the line of scrimmage, or can you run a 4.3 on more than just a go route down the field? So
your resume is your script. That's my belief.
I like that. An odd screenplay. Bucs do a good job of cleaning it up. Hassan Reddick on the tackle. Went to A-Chain. Bucs fan says, "Holy blank, a tackle, LOL." Well, now, Daniel, it's the daunting 3rd and long for Tampa Bay. That has done them in a lot of times this season.
And it should be daunting, as I was saying, for Miami. 3rd and 16, 28th in the league in terms of third down conversions. Here we go. Buccaneers drops back.
A little bit of pressure from Logan Hall. Tipped away by Antoine Winfield Jr. Winfield and Tyke Smith, they're kind of talking to each other. It looks like Smith believed that he had a chance to intercept it.
Yeah, and to me, it was a little interesting this week. I consider the Pro Bowl a popularity contest in a way. And Antoine Winfield got the nod into the Pro Bowl over Tyke Smith. I would have gone Tyke if objectively looking who had the better season overall. I think Tyke Smith. Now, Antoine Winfield Jr. is a really good safety, of course, but I think Tyke had the better season overall.
I absolutely agree with you as Cameron Johnson returns this punt, trying to make a couple of people miss. I'll make my point after if he gets tackled. Oh, big hit by, I believe, the punter. Yeah, the special. Sorry, special. I was thinking special teams. The Pro Bowl has become kind of the reputation bowl in terms of if you're a big name. Sometimes you'll get in just based on like what you've done before in your career, not necessarily what you did this season. Now, I think Antoine Winfield Jr. should he be a Pro Bowler this year? No, probably not. And I agree with you. Tyke Smith should be the guy. But let's remember 2 seasons ago when Antoine Winfield Jr. won or earned All Pro, he did not make the Pro Bowl this year.
Yep, that is correct. It kind of makes up for that one.
It's righting the wrongs of him not making the Pro Bowl from 2 seasons ago.
Well, Josh Grizzard starting off with a little bit of a rollout here. Mayfield hits Kate on about a 7-8 yard gain.
A play action on first down. Can you believe it?
Yes. The goal last week, of course, Josh Grizzard talked about, Todd Bowles talked about it. Go run heavy. If you rush over 30 times, the record was the Panthers are 2-15 against teams that rushed over 30 times in a game. But they didn't marry the play action off of it. You didn't get any deep shots out of it. No bootlegs, no rollouts, nothing really off of it. I think that was their biggest problem last week in terms of offensive game plan.
No, you're 100% right. And stats be whatever they are, and Bucky Irving runs for a first down, so nice job by the Bucs, not waiting for third down to get it, just, taking 2 plays. But you can say, okay, the Panthers only have 2 wins when you run it 30 times, but that doesn't mean you can just spam 30 running plays. And it feels like that's what they did.
Yep.
And Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times brought up a great point during the week that, last year, and granted the game was in Tampa, but last year Baker Mayfield threw for 5 touchdowns against Carolina. Isn't that more advantageous than running it 30 times? So, I do think it's going to be a big course correction this week for the Bucs in terms of throwing the ball, being aggressive on first down, but we'll see. Throw goes a little high to Mike Evans. I'd like to see a replay of that one. I thought Baker kind of missed him. Rasul Douglas did have somewhat tight coverage, but I appreciate the play action.
Exactly.
Virgin Boy says, terrible throw again. The Real Maverick says Mayfield high. Yeah, it did look a little high. Tough to throw it high when you have Mike Evans, who's the tallest receiver you have. But yeah, didn't love that from Baker. As it's a screen pass to Jalen McMillan. Nice block from Chris Godwin Jr. McMillan will end up about a yard or 2 short. That was an interesting one. The camera really closed up on, McMillan there on that one. Hello to Comp JG, who says, good day, Peter people. How we feeling today?
Hand off in 3rd and 1 here to Bucky. And unfortunately, they
get it. What do? Do you stay aggressive?
You're past midfield here. You got your season on the line. 1 yard away.
And they tried to run it to... everything just got caved down. But it looked like they tried to run behind their tackle and tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Bucs are going for it on 4th and 1. I like this call. Sean Tucker is in the backfield. Kate Otten goes in motion.
There we go, Tuck.
Whoo! Sean Tucker just gets it. So, job well done by Tampa Bay, staying aggressive. Nothing has come easy in the short yardage situations for the Bucs, though.
But in those short yardage situations, it's been Sean Tucker primarily as that guy. And there you go. Runs it right up the middle, gets a few more yards in the first down. But really good stuff there. Again, staying aggressive. You got your season on the line. We got to be scoreboard watching here, too, because the Panthers versus the Seahawks is a 1 o'clock game also. So
it is.
If they beat the the Seahawks somehow, man, that's going to be horrible for the Buccaneers if they lose here.
Baker fires it off to Bucky Irving, who gets about 5 yards. But again, I'm loving the play action, the throwing on first down. Bucs should be throwing on first down to set up the run on second down, in my opinion.
No, I fully agree with you here. And we did see this kind of course correction here, at least in this first drive, where we're seeing more play action. We're seeing what we didn't see last week.
Yeah.
2nd and 5 here now.
Baker under center.
Comp JG says, let's go Hawks. Yeah, all Bucs fans today should be supporting the Seahawks. Whoa.
Bucky Irving. Ooh. Jordan Brooks. Good linebacker for the Dolphins. Shows why he's a top-level player. Blitz the gap immediately. Let's take another look at the replay. Cade Otton missed the block, I believe.
Yeah, I talked about this on my show, but Jordan Brooks, he was one of those guys that right at the trade deadline, I would have liked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to maybe send a 4th or 5th round pick. He's under contract next year also. He's a little bit of older linebacker now, 28, going to be 29. But man, he can tackle. He's a force to be reckoned with.
3rd and 7 for Tampa Bay. And everybody make sure you like and subscribe and follow to the Fear the Bay podcast. As Baker throws down the middle, it's caught by a sliding Jalen McMillan. I wasn't sure if he got touched or not. But well done by Jalen McMillan. His 3rd game of the season, his 3rd game back from the fractured vertebrae. And certainly a better catch than any that he made last week. So that's why you have low throw, but that's why you have 4 top receivers, right?
Yeah. Low throw and a beautiful baseball slide by J-Mac.
Baker sacked. Looked like he wanted to hit either Mike or the other receiver lined up on the right side. Looked like they went for the stop and go. Yeah, you had Godwin and Mike on the right side.
The Dolphins have a lot of talent on that defensive line. Chubb and Chop Robinson, they haven't been able to get to the quarterback as many times as they would have probably wanted to this season. Chubb now has 7 sacks on the season, but they have a lot of talent. They can get to the quarterback. Even Zach Saylor, interior defensive lineman, he's had 10 sacks in previous last 2 seasons. They can get to the quarterback here. The Buccaneers offensive line, especially that interior offensive line, needs to make sure they step up here today.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jalen McMillan slipping and sliding all over the place, but what a performance by him thus far on this opening drive.
That's 2 baseball slide catches for J-Mac now.
Yeah.
Good stuff here.
Okay, Bucs are in business, folks. At the 11-yard line, they're going to pitch it to Sean Tucker. Tucker to the outside, picks up about 6 yards.
The real Maverick, 44 for the TD. Let's see. He is the goal line back.
I have a feeling we're going to see Mike Evans' number dialed up again soon. I know Baker missed him on that top one.
That's a good matchup between him and Douglas, though. He's played very well.
For sure. Definitely has the size that most corners don't to go up against Mike. And Baker, just get rid of it. Oh, Sean Tucker drilled by Brooks at the goal line. Set up a 3rd and 4. Always tough to throw closer to the end zone, just less space. See how the Bucs attack this 3rd and 4. But Tampa Bay taking up all of this opening drive.
Wow. Yeah, only 5 minutes and 31 seconds left here. Wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with, if it ends in 7. Mike on the right side. Baker looking, throws over the middle. It's caught. Praise be to Godwin Jr. Chris Godwin Jr. scores the first touchdown of the game for Tampa Bay. Nice throw from Baker Mayfield, too, because that was tight coverage on the play.
Really, really, really tight there. What a great drive. I completely different than what we saw the entire game last week against the Carolina Panthers. Really good stuff there. I think J-Mac was a superstar, of course, of this first drive. Those two beautiful baseball slide catches, low throws, but he was able to come down with the completion. And then right there, you talked about it on the goal line. It's extremely hard to pass. There's not a lot of space. There's not a lot of room. And Baker Mayfield put it right on the money for Chris Godwin Jr. Touchdown. Buccaneers go up 7-0. This is how you start off on offense. This is how you start it all off.
Completely agree with you that Jalen McMillan was the catalyst of this drive. I mean, they do not get near the end zone if it wasn't for his two sliding catches. So, yeah, the box score attention will go to Chris Godwin Jr. with the touchdown. And remember, he had a touchdown against Atlanta as well. So, nice job by CG with his second touchdown in the last 3 games. But hell of an opening drive by Tampa Bay. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start, you know.
No.
Bucs get a stop defensively, essentially a 3 and out because there's a penalty on the play. And then the Bucs go down and score a touchdown. So the next thing, and I want to stay positive, but the next thing Tampa Bay has to make sure of is 2 things. One, we've seen before, Bucs offense scores a touchdown, and then wham, defense immediately allows a touchdown for Miami, or the opponent, in this case, Miami. And 2, we've seen the Bucs have some good opening drives, but then they stall out for the next 2 or 3 drives. So those are the 2 key things to pay attention to on this next drive. But Comp JG says, gets another stop. Tampa Supreme says Chris Godwin Jr. is back. Yeah, it seems like, I want to say the last 4 games, Chris Godwin Jr. is starting to look like himself. And, you know, maybe it's not 6 catches, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns, but just having an impact on the game, I think, has really been super important for him.
Yeah, and, you know, these guys come back from injury, they play right away, but it takes some time for them to feel like their normal selves. Tristan Wirfs talked about that this week. Only a few weeks ago did he really start feeling like the old Tristan Wirfs, you know, the all-pro Tristan Wirfs. And we've seen that his pass protection rating on PFF has been over 90 for the past few games here. Really good stuff from him. But yeah, it takes some time. It looks like finally we see vintage Chris Godwin Jr. back out there on the football field. King Cook says, sorry. King Cook just says here, I think I'm off. No, here. This game is far from over, folks. LOL. That's what you were talking about. You got to keep your foot on the pedal. The defense has to get a stop. The offense has to continue scoring, moving the ball down the field, these long drives where they end in points. Good stuff there. But continue, Matt.
Well, I was going to say, you mentioned Tristan Wirfs a moment ago, and that's what made it so surprising that Wirfs isn't playing in this game. He's out with a toe injury, because he did speak to the media during the week. Now it's because he got a Pro Bowl nomination, but that's where he said that he feels like his former self. And usually when you're talking like that, it's okay, you're going to go out and play this week. And, you know, schedule was jumbled around because it was Christmas on Thursday and everything like that. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. By the way, hope everyone enjoyed their time with friends and family. But I figured, like, okay, he missed the first 2 practices. He's going to have off on Thursday because of the schedule. But then he didn't practice at all on Friday. So that was very much a surprise that Tristan Wirfs did not go for today's game. But you know what? Ben Chakuma looked pretty good against New Orleans. And hopefully he can continue that with today's performance against Miami.
And here is Quinn Ewers with his second start in the NFL. Right-handed quarterback, traditional drop pass quarterback. I don't feel like he has enough zip on his passes. That's a problem for me. But the little end around here with Jalen Waddle, their speedy wide receiver, gets about an 8-yard gain.
I get the sense we're going to have a lot of, maybe not always trickery, but Miami's just going to, we saw like on the first drive, the crazy screen, or fake screen one way, fake screen the other way. And I think we're going to see a lot of the eye candy today with Mike McDaniels, who might be calling his second to last game as the Dolphins head coach.
But that eye candy slows down the defense a little bit, makes it easier on your rookie quarterback to go out there. And he's not a gunslinger by any means, but last week he went 20 for 30, not bad in terms of completion percentage.
Play action for the Dolphins. Ewers going deep down the field, not even remotely close. Nice coverage by Benjamin Morrison.
And here again, 3rd and 3. Again, last week, 20% conversion rate for the offense, for Miami's offensive 3rd downs. For them, this is a challenge. Can they convert that money down? They haven't shown that they can do it all season at a consistent rate.
By the way, we should mention no John Bullock in this game. He was inactive. So Anthony Walker is going to play for the first time this season for Tampa Bay. And we got a false start penalty on Miami.
Their left guard, he's a rookie. He had the lowest PFF grade I've ever seen out of anybody. He has like a 30 overall. He's ranked as the worst guard in the entire league. That offensive line, outside of the center position, that offensive line is really bad for Miami. I mean, guys like Yaya Diaby and Hassan Reddick should be able to capitalize on that bad offensive line.
Yeah, part of the reason for Miami's struggles this season, along with the quarterback play. So it goes hand in hand a little bit. Bucs blitz Jacob Parrish. Ewers throws down the field. Hits a wide open receiver. Winfield tries to knock it out, but he was already in the end zone. And would you look at that? Theo Weiss Jr. We all have that on our bingo card as a touchdown. And to the surprise of no one, the Bucs defense immediately allows a touchdown after Tampa Bay scores a touchdown on offense. I am going to tweet that out. So excuse me just a moment. We're going to get to fans' anger and frustration in just a moment. To the surprise of no one.
The playing zone there, it was Jamel Dean's assignment at the beginning, but then he passes off to Tyke Smith. Tyke Smith a little slow to get there, leaves the guy open essentially. That's not how you respond on defense. You gotta get stops. If the Buccaneers are able to get a stop here, then to go out there on offense and score a touchdown, you create separation. You make the Miami Dolphins one-dimensional where they have to start pass heavy. Because Devon Achane, if I'm Todd Bowles, Devon Achane is the main guy I'm trying to stop. He hasn't really played a factor yet, but he's, 2nd or 3rd in the league right now in terms of rushing yards, 8 touchdowns on the ground, 4 in the air. I mean, I would put this in – I would stop the run game and force Quinn Ewers to beat with his arm, but, man, he's beating them with his arm right now. Jamel Dean, Tyke Smith can't get the stop.
The over on Quinn Ewers' passing yards today was 204. I mean, he just got what, like 60, 70 on that play? Carl G says making backups look like superstars. Mr. Grinch says pack it up. It's over. I mean, it's only tied.
Watch Quinn Ewers have a legacy game, 5 touchdowns, and then the whole offseason we're hearing, like, is Quinn Ewers the guy in Miami?
Yeah.
They're kingmakers. The Buccaneers. Daniel Jones, Carr, Kirk Cousins many years ago. Yeah. Always making guys look better than what they are.
Boss Daddy 85 says, haha, good old defense.
Yep.
Use 44 says a freaking rookie QB. The real Maverick says Ewers about to have his career day. We got a super chat. Virgin Boys, thank you for the $1.99. Says, in Baker we trust. We have no choice with the bad defense. Yeah, we've said this for a couple weeks now. The Bucs are going to have to win in a shootout for the rest of the season. That's just how it's got to be. Mr. King 03, thanks for the $2 super chat, says, game done. Bucs lose. A couple laughing emojis. Anyway, Panthers might win. Yeah, I didn't get a score on the Panthers game. Let me pull that up. But yeah, there is a chance the Bucs get eliminated today.
I got it here. Still 0-0 ball game in Carolina right now. 5:48 left to go in the first quarter. Seahawks have the ball. They're right over midfield. So yeah, that's a game we're going to keep our eyes closely on all game.
All right, what else do I need? Okay. Yeah, Real Maverick says Seahawks are driving. Love is the only way says that was on Smith, not Dean. Smith is the last line of defense. Playing zone, and he did. It's one of those things we'll never know the answer from Todd Bowles because he'll just say it was a bust. It was a busted coverage. 58 seconds it took for them to tie it up. 58 seconds. Good grief, man.
Good grief. All right. Cam Johnson return, gets it a little bit past the 30, but we got a flag on field.
KJ Britt, the former Buccaneer,
is
pointing at Tampa Bay. Sure, he'd like to knock them out of the postseason.
Great in the run game. Horrible in pass coverage, KJ Britt.
Yeah.
Diesel says, "What's up, Matt and Daniel? What's up, PR crew? Defense had a hold my beer moment, I see."
Yeah. Good to see you, Diesel. Yeah, appreciate everyone rocking and rolling with us today. I understand it's been difficult with this Bucs team. There hasn't been a lot to root for, but we try to make it as fun, informative, and realistic as we can. Plus, there's always the draft, the offseason, all that fun stuff too. Bucs run it with Bucky Irving on first down. Amazement 717 says, "I didn't like their faces on the sidelines, neither if anyone noticed that." They had a close-up on Jacob Parrish, who didn't appear to be too happy. Second and 6 for Tampa Bay. Mega Bucca's on the field. We didn't really see him on that first drive. And Rachaad White goes in motion as well with Bucky in the backfield. It's a screen to Bucky. Doesn't really make anyone miss. It's a gain of only a yard. By the way, those on Tank Watch, the Browns are up 10-0 on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ah. You got the ultimate Tank Bowl, also the Giants versus the Raiders. That one.
I'm actually really excited for that game because both sides have tried to take away all their best players as much as possible. I mean, obviously the links from Max Crosby to the Bucs have started to appear, and understandably so. As Baker fires down the field, he's got Evans, who makes the catch and didn't go get tackled right away, but then gets out of bounds. Really important catch by Mike Evans. Honestly, could have been a little bit of a hospital ball as well. Remember, Mike got flipped upside down in that Falcons game. Miami could have done that as well if they wanted to, but actually it was a little bit quicker than I thought. But thankfully, Mike is fine, makes an important third down catch, and the Bucs move the chains. Tez Johnson in the game for Tampa Bay. As the Bucs go play action, Baker's going to step up, throws it to Rachaad White. About 6-yard gain. However, there is a flag. And I'm fine with these little short intermediate passes. Like, that's no problem at all, as long as they, stay consistent.
Illegal contact on defense, number 23. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Coolio. No
and the Seahawks have gone up on the Panthers 3-0 here.
Yes, they have.
Not much of a lead, but that helps out.
Nonetheless.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is 8 of 10 to begin this game, so pretty accurate. Had that one overthrow to Mike. Rachaad White stays in the backfield. They're going to run it with Rachaad. Gets about 3 yards on the play. There's been a lot of conversation as well about what to do in the running game because the Bucs have talked about riding the hot hand, but it's been Rachaad White who's had the best rushing attempts in the last 2 games. I mean, went 39 yards for against Carolina, and had a big 20-yard run against Atlanta too. So how do you feel about the usage of all 3 running backs in the running game?
I have a little personal beef with Rachaad White because he wants to be a Washington Commander. So I would have made him inactive. If you're dreaming about being on another team, you can sit on the bench. But yeah, at times like he had the 39-yard run last week, And then they didn't really use him too many times after that. I think he had in total 4 more carries after that in the game. But yeah, I think the usage right now, they found a role for Sean Tucker. He's that short yardage guy. Bucky Irving comes in early, first and second. But Rachaad White, he has the capability to be a full 3-down back because he can pass protect. He can he can catch. He can really do everything. They have a good problem with those 3 guys. That's a good problem to have where any of those guys can be effective for you. And here comes 3rd and 3. Kadon goes in motion.
Play clock and game clock is the same, so I think they have to snap it. At least I
Well,
wouldn't risk it.
Yeah.
They are. That was close. So you believe Rachaad White is campaigning to go to the Commanders? Or is it more of just he's friends with Jaden Daniels and he's supporting Jaden Daniels?
If you look at one of his latest Instagram posts, all the comments are like, "We can't wait for you to be a Washington Commander. Can't wait for you to be in Washington." And he's liking all those posts. You wouldn't.
Oh,
like those
he
posts.
is? Okay,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been doing that since like December 16th. It's been like 2 weeks. He's been, he is good friends, of course, because they were at ASU together. But he does want to be a Washington Commander. We're seeing these are the final few games of Rachaad in Tampa. If you remember the beginning of the season, he posted the last ride comment on Instagram, and he played it off as like, "Oh, I was just listening to country music." No, he's in a contract year. This is it. I knew that from the beginning. This is it. And I think he's upset because of what you were talking about. Sometimes they don't ride the hot hand. They go away from Rachaad White when he has a big run. He's upset. He knows there's an opening for a running back position, RB1 in Washington, and he wants out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because Washington, they have Bill Krosky-Merritt, who is a rookie. And, it's been a tough year for Washington overall, a lot of because Jaden Daniels has been injured. But I feel like if Rachaad goes to Washington, he's going to be in somewhat of a similar role that he is with Tampa, unless Washington says, "Okay, you're our number 1 guy."
I think he feels like he could be their number 1. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Injured. They traded Brian Robinson away to the 49ers.
San Fran.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think he feels like he can be that RB1 and he can be back with his good buddy.
Yeah, it's good to have self-confidence.
Yeah.
Wellesley says, if I'm Rachaad, I'd want out too. He doesn't get the touches he deserves. Bucs are all in on Irving, who's too small to carry the load.
So, yeah, here's the thing. You can want out, but you don't do it publicly in the way that he's not as outspoken as Devin White. So it's not getting as much coverage. But if he's liking the comments that are saying that he's going to be a Washington Commander next year. He's doing it discreetly, but he wants out. And it's okay to be upset, but do you do it publicly like that on social media? But that's a new thing. All the guys, the drama on social media. We saw it with David Montgomery last week, Devin White a few years before, if we want to connect it back to Tampa. He wants out, and that's okay. But if I'm Todd Bowles, if I'm Jason Light, I just make the move. I know you're dreaming about being on a different team. I just make you inactive. I know that hurts because you have less talent to go with, but you got to send a message at the same time. You can't be too passive when a guy is dreaming about being on a whole different team when you're fighting for your playoff hopes here. But yes, Bucky Irving and the little dump off there. Bucky Irving can't convert the 3rd and 2. He is a small back, so the Buccaneers are going to be in a little bit of a problem here because they don't have a bigger back. Sean Tucker really isn't a big back per se. And if you lose Rachaad White, you lose your pass blocking running back as well. So there's going to be a little bit of a need there for a good pass blocking running back. All right, 4th and 1.
Sean Tucker's a restricted free agent as well. Yeah, 4th and 1. Baker looks like he's trying to draw him off sides. They're going to call something. Ibuka goes in motion. I think they're going to run something here. Maybe not.
Trying to catch. Looks like Baker's trying to catch him, jump off sides.
Nope. They're going to trust their defense because they are what's driven this team.
Brian O'Malley says, the Bucky, the sucky. He doesn't suck. He doesn't suck. He has problems because the interior offensive line, you're playing with Michael Jordan out there. and Dan Feeney. That's not Cody Mauch. That's not Ben Bredesen out there. This offensive line is completely healthy, and that hurts a smaller guy like Bucky Irving. But he doesn't suck. He is a good running back overall.
No,
But
yeah.
he can't be your every down back. He's not built for that, unfortunately. There needs to be.
No, he's just not. And like, I won't say he regressed, but he's clearly just, and the injury is a big part of it. But he's clearly like not having the same type of season he did last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Diesel 283-813 says, like, why isn't Rachaad on the field if he's the third down back? You got to mix it up every now and then, you know? So I'm fine with that.
Cincy kid says Michael Jordan is a GOAT. Dan, just kidding. Whole different Michael Jordan. A backup.
Yeah.
Off the line.
Joel Brown says, come on, just go for that. Yeah, I honestly, I think they.
No, yeah, I would have gone for it.
T420 says, Bucky, 150 pounds, not a primary back.
He's not 150. There's no.
Yeah, no.
No, he's nowhere near 150.
Brian Amoli says, Bucky should not see the ball more than 5-6 times a game. He's too small. That's not true.
Oh,
I think Bucky should get about 10 to 12 handoffs a game, in my opinion.
And if he's hot, you let it. You continue.
Exactly. Scratch Scuffed brings up a good point. Bucky regressed because our genius offensive coordinator is now coaching the Jags to the playoffs. Not a bad point. Jordan Peters with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Says, no way Bowles is gone if the Bucs win the division, right? In my opinion, we overreact as fans when we see instant success somewhere else. Cohen did, Canales didn't. Yeah, but Canales inherited a pretty terrible roster. And this is what, Canales' second year? Yeah, yes. Second season with Carolina, and is making them potentially a playoff team. So it was a pretty quick turnaround for a Panthers team that was really, really bad. So I think one thing that might keep Bowles' job, and I'm not advocating for it, but there's not as many good options this year for head coaching candidates than there was a season ago, which may help Todd Bowles. Not saying I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to look at the facts. By the way, everybody, we will have a Pewter post-game podcast coming up after this game. It'll be myself and Scott Reynolds. We'll do it a little bit after Baker Mayfield speaks. And since they're in Miami on the road, Scott doesn't have to travel back up from the press conference room in the locker room to find a seat in Raymond James Stadium in one of the box areas. So we'll be able to do it quicker. Oh, man, I have a bad feeling about this game. The Real Maverick says 8 yards on first down. Good thing we trusted the defense. JPP and Hassan Reddick are in the game.
Oh, you got to stop the run. Man.
Bucs don't do it. A-chain with the run. Bucs fan says, what happened to our run defense? What's happened to everything with this team?
JPP stays out there. Larry Foote talked about and talked about Steve, possibly a heavier workload for JPP this week.
And they switch sides as well.
Yeah, we get a pitch outside to the left. About an 8-yard gain there. Second and one now. Again, you got to stop the run here. That wasn't even an 8-chan.
Yeah, all backups in along the D line, and it's not looking good.
And let's remember, the Dolphins are fighting for Mike McDaniel's fighting for his job, but they're eliminated from the playoffs. So they have there's no improvement that they can't get into the playoffs anymore. They're done. So who wants it more? Do the Buccaneers actually want to be in the playoffs, or are the Dolphins going to fight with nothing? They have nothing to gain if they win. Besides,
Ewers completes down the field. That's a first down for Miami as they get close to field goal range.
So Vontae Dent's got good pressure with the blitz, but going to get to him in time.
I mean, just wide open. That was Greg Dulcich with the catch. Ewers fires again. Nice play by Jamel Dean. As Ewers is looking for Darren Waller. 11:08 to go in the second quarter. Stitch Happens Cat says, I had a sliver of hope. It's gone. Brent O'Neill says, we lose this game. LOL. Bucs fan says, I don't think Winfield deserved the Pro Bowl. I don't think so either, but I think it's a makeup for 2 seasons ago. And if that's the sense, then I'm fine with it.
Oh, boy. Right up the middle.
Oh, was that Ollie Gordon?
Man. Again, Todd Bowles' defense is traditionally, since 2019, they've been one of the best teams at stopping the run, and just not here today a few times this season. Just really can't stop the run. If you remember Henderson beating for the Patriots 2 huge gushes that led to touchdowns. Man, you got to stop the run. If you stop the run, you force the Dolphins offense to become one-dimensional, force Quinn Ewers to beat you with his arm. But there's been a few coverage busts already on this drive and the previous drive here.
This is Groundhog's Day, man. This is the same thing every single week. On defense and a lot of the times on offense as well. Oh, man, almost a sick play by Yaya Diaby. Quinn Ewers, I think that technically counts as a completed pass to himself. So congrats on his first career reception. David Weber says, making that punch from midfield looks like a good idea. Yeah, nice play by Yaya. Second and goal for Miami. Bucs need a stop. Screen over the middle. Missed tackle by Levante. Set up a 3rd and goal. Who wants to bet Miami scores?
Jalen Waddle, their wide receiver 1, heading to the to the locker room right now. Huge loss for them.
That is gigantic, yeah. I bet Darren Waller scores a touchdown.
He does have 6 touchdowns on the season. He's a goal line threat here. Doesn't have many yards.
All of his damage is in the goal line, which I kind of respect, have a special skill. It's a screen. Nice play by Hassan Reddick. That's a big-time stop. Bucs will be losing, but at least they're only losing by a field goal.
I like the honesty this week also by Larry Foote, admitting that, he would have expected way more sacks out of Hassan Reddick. But, I mean, he talked about the pressures, and I get it, pressures, but you pay these guys to get to the quarterback, not just to get pressure. Myles Garrett doesn't get the contract, 4-year, $160 million contract by just getting pressures. You got to get these.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And I think with Reddick, some people are saying it's a lack of effort. I don't think it's been a lack of effort for Hassan Reddick. I mean, you see the play he just made there.
Yep.
It's just, his best years are behind him, if we're being realistic. But nice play by Reddick there. Holds Miami to a field goal. The field goal is good by Riley Patterson, so the Bucs do trail. But hey, this is what they do. And since we are at a commercial break, let's hear a message from Jorgensen Law.
Welcome to Jorgensen Law PA, where our family's legacy drives us to fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury, workers' compensation, and Social Security, we're committed to winning for you. No fees unless we succeed. Trust in our family to help yours. Let's achieve justice together.
That's right. Jorgensen Law is the official law firm of PewterReport.com. They have offices in St. Petersburg, and they are the champions of the injured and disabled. You can give them a call at 727-347-7733. That's 727-347-7733. You can get a free case evaluation with Jorgensen Law if you've been injured or in an accident. And there are no fees until they win your case. So that sounds like a pretty good deal. Jorgensen Law, the official law firm of PewterReport.com and Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel. They sponsor every injury-related story about the Bucs on PewterReport.com. Okay, the Bucs are about to get the ball once again. They've been able to move it 2 drives. 1 touchdown on their opening drive, then got to midfield, didn't go for it on 4th and 2. They had a 3rd and 2 that was completed to Bucky Irving, but was tackled at the line of scrimmage immediately. And we have a comment from Callie Bucs, who's now been a Pewter Report YouTube channel member for 16 months. So thank you, Callie Bucs, for all of your support. Says, announcer said he liked the punt to see if viewers can drive the field. Guess what? He can. ... Could have just went for it and still give up 3. I think that's pretty true. I mean, I don't know how much these announcers know about the Bucs from a week-to-week basis, but seeing how this defense has been, there's no reason to put any trust in them, even with Ewers in his 2nd career start.
Real quick, Seahawks game is still 3-0. Seahawks in the lead, but Carolina's at their own 23. They're in field goal range, at least tied up or scored touchdown as 1st and 10 for them. So that's a game, again, we got to watch really, really closely because they have the opportunity right now to tie it or take the lead. And the Buccaneers are down in this game right now at 10-7.
Cameron Johnson just before the 30. That's where Tampa Bay will set up shop.
Man, I don't want to see how deflating would next week be if the Panthers win, the Buccaneers lose. Just that game is going to be so flat. The energy is going to be that's who's going to be in the stands.
Yeah,
that's going to be
a meaningless game.
Yep. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Can't have that. All right, Bucs start their next drive at about the 28. Pistol formation. Brief adjustment, 2 seconds to go on the play clock. Just get it off. It's a screen to Tez Johnson. Gets about 2 yards. As Mike Evans enters the game.
Empty set for Baker, 2nd and 7.
Yeah. Going 5 wide, one of them being Bucky on the outside. Baker throws over the middle, hits a wide open Chris Godwin Jr., who bobbles for a second, but recovers and gets the 1st down.
That kind of looked like Pro Bowl tackling,
A little bit.
They don't really want to touch him too much.
Good job by Baker, just finding the open man. Some short underneath stuff. .705 to go in the 2nd quarter. Baker at 91 passing yards in the game. Oh, now they're going Wildcat. Bucky keeps it and goes nowhere. So
I like the nickname you gave to it a few weeks ago. What, Wild Buck?
Wild
Bucky?
Buck, yeah.
Wild Buck. I like it.
So a loss of 1 on the play. I feel like every time they've done the Wild Buck, it's just been Bucky running it. Now, it hasn't been a ton, and it looked great against Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right, 2nd and 11. Bucky stays in the game. You got Evans and Otten to the right, McMillan and Godwin to the left. Baker stepping up, throws deep down the field.
Oh, boy.
It's intercepted. I don't know why Jalen McMillan tried to touch him. And just gained about 30 more yards. Looks like Mike Jordan is down. Bucs already severely injured along the offensive line, specifically at guard.
What a disaster. What?
I believe the penalty came after the interception, so that's going to count. Baker tried to go deep. Yet another game with a pick for Baker. Marshall on the interception. Yeah, I mean, Jalen McMillan, I know there's a penalty, but Jalen McMillan
Yeah.
nonchalant on that.
No effort to try to get him down, nothing. Underthrow by Baker Mayfield, of course. When he's been inaccurate, it's been overthrows. There is underthrow, gets picked off. Dolphins have the ball, of course, now. Let's check in on that Carolina game.
Carolina's driving. They have a 3rd and 2 coming up. They're at midfield. Still down 3-0. And they're about a yard short. I wonder if they'll go for it on 4th down. Man, that boggles my mind about Jalen McMillan.
Yeah, Bill Haley says McMillan just stands there.
Yeah, King Cook says Baker sucks. J-Mac wide open, LOL. Keita Villain says season over. Virgin Boys, when will we fire Todd? The Real Maverick says, of course they will, LOL, talking about the Panthers. Yeah, they are going for it. I'll do some live play-by-play here. 4th and 1 for Carolina. They're just over midfield. Oh, they tried to do the tush push. They put Tommy Tremble under center. He may not have gotten it. It was really close. Seahawks believe they got to stop. This would be big for the Bucs' chances.
Looks like they gave him the 1st down.
Okay. C.A. Reeves says these wideouts are done with Baker. Mike will retire or go to a contender next year. Baker isn't the guy. All these weapons and no growth. Again, this is the same group that last year, everyone except for Ibuka, because he wasn't in the league yet, and Baker had his best season. So I don't think they're tired of Baker. Constantinos Giorgio says our offense blows. Not looking good right now, especially when you see Cincinnati score 45 against this team just a week ago. Carlos Lopez, let's go Lightning.
Blindside hit to
Yeah, that is a blindside hit. Yeah.
Jack Jones. Is Elijah Klein inactive for this game? I can't remember.
I don't believe so.
Okay, so maybe it's Elijah Klein in at left guard.
Probably. He did get the start against the Jets earlier in the year, which that was Luke Haggard and Elijah Klein starting at guard.
Yep.
All right, 5:40 to go. Bucs do get the ball at halftime, although there's nothing really much to write home about. Ewers with a screen pass to A-Chain. Nobody even remotely close besides Levante, but he got blocked. So that's one of the easier first downs that you will find.
Josh Grizzard's been a year with, a year or two with Mike McDaniels. So they come from essentially, not fully, but the same kind of coaching tree. Kyle Shanahan was with Mike McDaniels before, but Mike McDaniels does a really good job of scheming guys open. This is what Liam Cohen did last year, scheming guys open. You don't really see that too much with Josh Grizzard. I don't know. We're
agree
week
with what
17,
you're saying.
and this team is still looking for their identity on offense. You're in week 17. We're still looking for our identity on offense.
I wouldn't mind Mike McDaniel as the offensive coordinator for the Bucs next season. Now, obviously, a lot of this depends on who's the head coach, or if Todd Bowles stays and decides to, make a different decision. But wouldn't hate that.
The way he
wouldn't hate Mike McDaniel as the head coach either.
At times when things get tough, he's not a true leader, so that would that hurts a little bit. But as an offensive coordinator, I think he'd be really deadly. He schemes his guys open. Good yard there, 8-yard gain by Wright. But schemes guys open, just really, and the motions are purposeful. A lot of it is eye candy, yes. But when they had in 2023, when they had Tyreek Hill out there, and Jalen Waddle, when they went 11-6, that offense was almost unstoppable. I think Tua was the only thing really stopping it at times. But I mean, the offensive scheme is so good that he can make a 7th-round rookie like Quinn Ewers in his second game look good. Now, how much is that on scheme for Mike McDaniels versus Todd Bowles? A scheme on defense. I don't know.
Fair point.
I literally like Mike
easy
McDaniels.
First down for A-Chain. By the way, Panthers going for it on 4th and 4, just over midfield, but out of field goal range. Young throwing. Oh, Ted McMillan almost made a sick one-handed catch, but he did not. There is a penalty on the play.
And Ted playing, it's the flu game for him. It was questionable whether he was going to play or not, but he's out there.
Put on the injury report with an illness, but yes, he is participating. Whew, this Bucs defense. Only 10 yards for the Bucs this quarter. Ewers.
It's too easy.
It off the A-Chain. Oh, my God.
Let me remind you, the Dolphins are eliminated. They're playing for nothing, okay? Besides Mike McDaniels playing for his job, okay? But the players are really playing for nothing here. And they're showing more fight than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this has been an issue for the past few weeks where the Buccaneers, it doesn't feel like they're, you said it last week, and during practice, it didn't feel like there's no urgency, I believe you said last week in terms of practice. When your back is against the wall, it's just this team, the Buccaneers, they have everything to fight for. Their season is on the line.
Listen, I mean,
where's the killer instinct?
A starting quarterback, the worst quarterback in Division III college football, can make the swing pass throws to the running back that Quinn Ewers is doing. This is no slight on Quinn Ewers. It's all day. It's all quarter, really. But, I mean, this is nothing for Quinn Ewers. As we
hit a good offensive mind, a good scheme can make a bad quarterback look good. Like, this is the second start. He's a rookie.
Rusty Shackelford says our defense makes it look so easy. Agreed. So easy. Key to Villain says he's literally throwing and running the ball to A-Chain, nothing else. And this goes back to, I was saying this during the pregame show, that if I'm Miami, and they're kind of doing it right now, but they've actually had help from their other running backs as well. If I'm Miami, I'm doing exactly what Atlanta did against the Bucs in that Thursday game, where it was just all Bijan Robinson. Now, it got away from them later in the game, and, when they had to start throwing, then Kirk Cousins made the throws. But a lot of the scoring they had was just from Bijan Robinson making plays. And you're seeing that with A-Chain. You're seeing it with the running game working too. It's everything, man. Geist85 with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Sorry, Devin G, I see your super chat as well. We'll get to that next. Says, how can the Glazers put up with this defense? Yeah, I don't know what justifies keeping Todd Bowles as the head coach. Like, if Todd Bowles, Scott says this all the time, so it's his line. I'm not trying to steal it. But if Todd Bowles was just he wasn't calling plays. If he was just the head coach and the Bucs had a different defensive coordinator, and this was the production they were getting, the defensive coordinator would be fired, or at least should be fired. But he's the one who's the head coach and the defensive play caller. And it's just not working. And Devin G, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Says, Ibuka not having a single target is criminal. Yeah, I mean, he had 2 targets last game. He had 1 catch for 40 yards.
Didn't Josh Brizard, if I remember correctly, he talked about finding ways to get Emeka Ibuka the ball earlier, right? If I'm correct. Yeah, okay. And where is that?
And again, like, there are 4 really good wide receivers and a good running back in Bucky Irving. So there's only one football, but they have 7 points and 10 yards 7 points in the whole game, 10 yards in this whole quarter. It's not like the offense is lighting it up by any means. So, yeah, I think that's a major problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then Josh Weiss, thanks for the $1.99 super chat, says, controversial take. Defense wants Bowles fired. That's definitely controversial. I don't necessarily know if that's the case. I mean, Levante David probably playing the last 2 games of his career. I don't think that's the case. The guys take pride in what they do. 2nd and goal for Miami.
Horrible tackling.
Yeah, just straight up missed tackle. I hate to say it, but it's time for Levante to go.
Yes, it is. He's taking his 3 steps backwards. This is unfortunately the end of the road for Levante. And that doesn't dismiss everything that he's done throughout his tenure as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, but if we're being honest, he doesn't have it anymore.
Right, yeah. People, when they look back on his last season, they're going to... The only highlight they're going to show is when he had the interception against Seattle. And that's fine. By the way, the Carolina Panthers just might go as an incompletion, but they recovered a fumble on Sam Darnold. Anyway, 2nd and goal from the 20. Let's see how the Bucs screw this up. Ewers over the middle, caught. Dennis makes the tackle right around the 10. Joshua Chow. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, I've never observed such a gutless brand of defense. It's definitely uninspiring. Definitely not motivational.
There's no fire in them. There's no killer instinct. There's the energy is flat. We've seen this for the past few weeks now. It's just there's nothing to them. And there's nobody on this defense. I've said this a bunch of times over the past few weeks. There's not an outspoken vocal leader on that defense who rally the troops, who rally the guys up. You just have a group of nice guys to it. Like Antoine Winfield Jr. always smiling, Zion always smiling, Janelle Dean always smiling. There's no real, and they give up the touchdown here to the tight end too.
Oh my God.
There's going to be a 17-7 ball game against a team that's eliminated from the playoffs already, and you have everything on the line, and you're on pace to lose this game.
It's laughable. It's laughable. Yikes. Dulcich, who's having a career game. I mean, Dulcich is eating up Tampa Bay. Dolphins go up 16-7. Dolphins go up 17-7. And once again, it's both sides of the ball, you know? Like 7 points isn't enough in today's NFL.
Yep.
Callie Buck says I started the wrong Dolphins tight end. Yeah. RMCG93, thank you for this $1.99 super chat. Says Bowles needs to be a walk-around head coach, hire a defensive coordinator. I get what you're saying, but the problem is, like, Bowles has been a defensive play caller for almost all of his career. You're not going to, if you're going to bring in a guy, is Bowles going to allow him, and this is like if he survives the season, which at this point doesn't look like it, but Is he going to bring in a guy to call a completely different defense than what they already have? Will he bring in a guy that runs a 3-4 defense like Todd Bowles? It's a little wishy-washy when it comes to that scenario.
At that point, why have a walk-around head coach? It works if you have like a Dan Campbell, a motivator. Todd Bowles just stoic. He's quiet. It worked with Bruce Arians when you had offensive coordinator and a defense coordinator. Todd Bowles was your defense coordinator, and he would get in your face, the no BS attitude. He would yell at you on the sidelines. But why have a walk-around head coach like Todd Bowles if he's just quiet? He's not a motivator.
Right,
What's the purpose of having a Todd Bowles anymore?
For sure.
If that was the
case.
case.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Daniel Fisher, thanks for the $1.99, says, once we just accept this team sucks, it hurts less. This is a bad team. They've lost 6 of 7, probably about to lose 7 of 8. I shouldn't say that just yet. But if they do lose, that'd be 4 in a row. Virgin Boys, thanks for the $1.99. Sorry, go ahead, Daniel.
No, the Cardinals game also, that was the only victory after the bye. And that was a 3-win team you're going up against, a 2 or 3-win team. It took until the final minute to put that game away, late in the – if that game didn't go the way it did, you would have lost, 7 of your last 7 and possibly 8 of your last 8. I don't know what this team is anymore. You have all the weapons back on offense.
They do.
You can't score. You scored 20 points last week. You only scored 7 so far here today. Quinn Ewers, a 7th-round rookie, is outperforming statistically Baker Mayfield here. I don't know. This is a little bit wild. I wouldn't have expected this team to come out so flat. You have everything on the line here. The game's not over. You got a minute 43 in the second quarter.
For sure. They do get the ball in the third quarter, so ideally a touchdown or a field goal here. So either way, it would be a one-score game. Virgin Boys, thanks for the $1.99 super chat, says, did Rappaport say Todd's job is safe or am I high? You are not high. Ian Rappaport did say that about Todd Bowles earlier in the day. I have a feeling he's getting that information from someone that's a little more Team Bowles and a little more realistic about the situation. Amazement 717, thank you for this $1.99, says, Bucs possibly lose to Cousins, Shuck, and Ewers. Yeah, that would be a fact. That all happened. Two Woods Cinco Ocho, thank you for the $4.99, says this wouldn't be so bad if there weren't multiple reports saying Todd's job is safe. Shaking my head. Well, those plans could change day to day or game to game, especially if they lose today. And the way
the Rappaport one was more of his own opinion. That's kind of how he prefaced it too. Yeah. Like it was his opinion, his belief. It wasn't like he heard something specifically from like an insider scoop or anything that he's definitely safe. It was mostly his opinion because he was saying he was extended before the season. He's under contract to 2028. We got a flag on the field. It's going to be on the Buccaneers. Going to back them up here a little bit.
Yeah, that's a late flag.
The fact that this team is still fighting for an NFC South title. They've won the NFC South title the past 3 years. He got extended this offseason. He's using that as his take on why he believes that Todd Bowles, his job isn't in jeopardy, isn't in danger. But that's an opinion. It's not really he didn't say it like an actual report where he's safe for 2026.
Carolina has tied the game up 3-3. Kings are awful. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Says Bowles stays if we make the playoffs. Cool, so don't. Baker's throw to Cade Otton on 1st and 20 is good, but only for a short gain. By the way, to make matters worse, Chase Young scored a defensive touchdown. So, can't really get much worse for Tampa Bay right now. Geist85 says, we boycott the Bucs until Bowles is fired. Well, as long as you keep watching PewterReport.com and the Pewter Report podcast and the Fear the Bay podcast, feel free to do what you want, but make sure you're watching us.
Thank you,
Don't boycott us. It's Baker pump fakes, faked out the cameraman, goes deep, finds Jalen McMillan. He's having a pretty good game receiving-wise.
And I like the up-tempo. Minute 9 now. Keep it going.
Yes.
J-Mac's been the best receiver so far today.
Minutes ago, 2 timeouts for the Bucs. We'll get to some of these other super chats at halftime. 59 seconds. Baker calling out the plays. He's gonna run, throw. McMillan cannot make the catch.
Very low throw, though.
Yeah.
Now, J-Mac did bail out Baker Mayfield in the first few drives with those sliding baseball low catches, but there he just couldn't do it. For some reason,
Second
even
and
that
10?
interception was underthrown. Yeah, 2nd and 10, 49 seconds left, 2 timeouts for
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
That was a bad interception by Baker early on. Mayfield takes a snap. No blitz by the Dolphins. Baker has time. He's going to dump it off to Bucky, who makes one guy miss, gets the first down, and also gets out of bounds. A late flag, though. Looks like they're going to call it on the Bucs.
Yep.
Kadon. Yep, Kadon.
Yep.
Rough game for Odd. Missed that block on Jordan Brooks, I believe, earlier in the game. I don't like that call.
From that angle, yeah, I didn't see much.
Don't agree on that one. So 2nd and 13 for the Bucs with 40 seconds to go. And now they just got to try to, I mean, obviously you want a touchdown, but they got to just try to get into field goal range at this point. Baker going deep down the field, looking for Evans. Just couldn't track the ball the right way. Tough one.
Hughes 44 mentioned earlier the double dipping situation here. They do get the ball back. The Buccaneers do get the ball back when we start the 3rd quarter. So even if you score a field goal here, you do get the ball back when we return. But you want a touchdown, of course. You want to score touchdowns, not field goals here.
3rd and 13. They can find a way to get a first down. Protection has to hold up.
All right. Timeout.
Timeout on a incompletion. Just inexcusable. By the way, it looks like Mike Jordan is back in the game for Tampa Bay. Remember, he had that blindside block. How do you call a timeout when the clock is stopped? Jeez. All right, 3rd and 13 for the Bucs. Got to find someone. It's a McMillan who gets out of bounds. Keep your cool. Keep your cool, man.
Here comes Chase McLaughlin.
Money time. Money, 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 money. McLaughlin.
Won't be easy. 55 yards.
That is true.
Oh,
don't tell
boy.
me. Kick is blocked. Oh, God.
Can it get any worse, Matt? Golly.
Let's see.
Smile from Mike.
Yeah.
Sideline. McLaughlin. Ben Priap. Bucs fan, they're just bad. It's hard to watch. Yep. The real Maverick, we are so bad. This is a bad football team now, unfortunately. Started off hot, 6-2, lost 6 of your last 7, possibly 7 of your last 8 here, right?
Yeah. Oy vey. All right, still 17-7. Let's get to some of these super chats. I know you've been waiting, so I appreciate each and every one of you. Let me see where we left off. Stitch Happens Cat. Thank you for the $4.99. Says laughable. Speak for yourself. This is despicable. As a Bucs fan, I want to crawl in a hole. Only positive might save me a playoff ticket. That's a good spin zone. Kings are awful. Thanks for the $1.99. Says he's a rookie versus Bulls defense. Of course he will shine. That's been the blueprint. Oh my God. The Panthers just had a crazy interception. They're going to get the ball at midfield, tied at 3 with 1:13 to go. Flame Pillar Diaz. Thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Says Josh refuses to stop spamming screens. I don't think he's been too bad with the screens today. There's been some. I don't think it's been awful, though. Valigant, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says Bucs always make rookie and backup quarterbacks look like Montana. It's crazy for many, many years.
Yep.
Yeah, you could set your watch to it. Virgin Boys, thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Says, is Ibuka still on the team or what the F, Grizz? Well, Jalen McMillan's having a really good game. But yeah, I hear you. Like, it's surprising you're not getting your number 1 pick involved for the second week in a row. Nick the Trainer, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Says, can't fathom that people are saying Bowles isn't on the hot seat after what we're seeing. Like, what the hell? Makes me question their intelligence, pure mediocrity. Yeah, I wouldn't buy too much into what Rappaport is saying. He's getting fed certain things by certain parties. Remember what he said about Devin White? That's all I'll say. Kings are awful. Thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Says, that's why you fire the special teams coach if you're a good head coach. I agree Thomas McGahee should have been fired, but on that play specifically, the guy just jumps up and blocks it. I don't know what the special teams coach is supposed to do on that.
Exactly.
And then Mr. King 03 says, I fully expect Todd Bowles to be the head coach in 2026, regardless of the outcome of the season. The Glazers are scared and Bowles is cheap. I don't know how much he's getting paid compared to the other head coaches in the league, but he did sign a 3-year contract extension, so there would still be 2 more years of Bowles, which maybe plays into the decision process on that. All right, 16 seconds to go. Ewers throws a backwards pass. Oh, never mind. Seattle still has the ball. But there's a penalty. Oh, joy.
The real Maverick, BA would have fired everybody. BA was kind of a loyal guy, though. Loyal to Bulls, loyal to Leftwich, Keith Armstrong.
Yeah.
In terms of coaches, he was kind of loyal to coaches.
All right, 3rd and 15. Yeah, I think Miami probably runs it here, forces the Bucs to call timeout.
If you remember, BA was actually upset that Leftwich got fired.
He was, yeah. Tate Miller, thanks for the $1.99 super chat, says, bye-bye, Todd Bowles. Why are you calling the timeout now? The play was dead. Was it not? Like, ultimately, probably neither side was going to score, but what are you doing? What? Yeah, what?
All right, so
Nice sack. Would have been cool to call a timeout and force them to punt it. Now you're just going to go to halftime. Sorry, I'm typing out this tweet. Why did they go their last time out on third down when the clock wasn't running? Force the Dolphins to punt it. What? Oh, this team, just dumb decisions after dumb decisions. Let's see.
Q's44 says my wife left the room already. She was always smarter than me.
Kings are awful. Thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Says if Bull stays, he better be stripped of defensive coordinator. Everything he's done, it's very difficult to justify. Son the Child, thank you for this $5 super chat. Says at this point, I should just become a member, but I've said ever since Todd was hired that it was going to be bad. Just like with the Jets, he sucks as a head coach. He is not doing himself any favors with how this team is playing, with a lot of the decisions he's made. It is brutal, Pewter people. As we are now at halftime, just want to remind everybody once again that there will be a Pewter post-game show talking about this Bucs game, win, lose, or draw. Be myself and SR, Scott Reynolds, talking about everything that went on in this game. Of course, we'll answer every super chat. We'll get to other questions and comments as well in Bucs versus Dolphins. And also a reminder, with New Year's Eve and New Year's coming up this week, we're going to stick to the same schedule that we had for Christmas Eve and Christmas. So we're going to have Monday podcast, Tuesday podcast, and then no show Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll have a Pewter Insider on Friday. So that's just an update for everybody of how we'll go about the upcoming week after Bucs Dolphins as the Bucs prepare for Bucs Panthers, which maybe will be an important game. I don't know. But yeah, just a little scheduling update. We'll continue to remind everybody about it. Anyway, Daniel, thoughts on what we've seen in the first half of play by the Bucs?
One word, disappointed. It's on offense and on defense. Just disappointed overall. You're fighting for everything. You're fighting for your season. The Dolphins are eliminated, and they have more fight than you do. It's a little bit sad. This is unfortunately, even though they start off hot, 6-2, this is a bad football team. You wouldn't have thought so. With all the weapons this team has, with all the talent this team has, on both offense and on defense, for some reason, they just can't get it done week in and week out. Just disappointed overall. How about you, Matt?
Just, I don't know. I was going to say perplexed, befuddled, but then at the same time, we've seen this all again. So it's just repetitive.
We were hoping
I think
for
it's the word.
something different. Yeah,
But I think if I had one word to describe it, I'd say repetitive. Because it's the same thing. Offense has a good start, but then they slow down after. Mm-hmm. And then the defense immediately allows a touchdown after the offense scores a touchdown. Same thing over and over. Bowls, questionable decisions with the game itself. And we got a couple of new Pewter Report YouTube channel member subscribers. So thank you to Son the Child and Joshua's Chow. Thank you so much for your support of Pewter Report TV. We appreciate that. And then Callie Bucks, appreciate this $4.99 super chat. Says the game has phased Bowles out. Bowles can't beat these young coaches in a chess game. His calls are outdated. He plays an old style of football.
I agree with that. Like, where he just can't scheme up against the Mike McVays of the world or the Kyle Shanahan's, even though they got the win early in the season. But the 49ers, they're depleted. Like, all the injuries that even Fred Warner went down that game. I do agree with that, though, that Todd Bowles struggles against these modern offenses. Talking specifically about the McVay coaching tree or the Shanahan coaching tree.
Felix Schmidt says, did Bowles bench Tyke? He wasn't in the last series. I did not notice that, but I will keep an eye out for it. It will come very much as a surprise because Tyke plays 100% of the snaps. But something I will keep an eye on. By the way, let's just take a quick look at the box score for the Bucs and Dolphins. Going to refresh it real quick. Baker Mayfield is 16 of 21 for 143 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. He's been sacked 1 time. The Bucs have ran it 8 times for 20 yards. Bucky is 5 of 9. Sean Tucker is 2 of 8. Rachaad White is 1 of 3. So they've been more pass heavy, which I think we like.
Yeah.
Just haven't been able to execute. Jalen McMillan, 5 catches for 79 yards, the leader in receptions and receiving yards for the Bucs, averaging 15.8 yards per attempt. Cade Otton, 3 catches for 20 yards. Mike Evans, 1 for 16. Chris Godwin Jr., 2 for 14. Bucky Irving, 4 of 12. Tez Johnson, 1 of 2. There are 2 players tied for the lead in tackles for Tampa Bay. That's Hassan Reddick and Antoine Winfield Jr. Wasn't expecting Reddick to be up there. Safrase Dennis is second with 3 tackles, and the lone sack of the game comes from Logan Hall, which was right at the end of the half. For Miami, Quinn Ewers is 10 of 15 for 144 yards with 2 touchdowns. Jalen Wright leads Miami in rushing, 3 attempts for 48 yards. Devon Achane, 5 for 44. Jalen Waddle, 1 for 7. Greg Dulcich had 1 for -7. Theo Weiss has 1 catch for 63 yards, but went for a touchdown. Greg Dulcich, 5 of 58 and a touchdown. He's really been tearing up the Bucs more than anyone else. And wow, only 4 guys have a reception. Devon Achane, 3 of 29. No one else has a catch except for Quinn Ewers on that play where it got tipped by Yaya and he caught it. So he's 1 for -6. Jordan Brooks and Jason Marshall are tied with 5 sacks. For Miami, Bradley Chubb has the lone sack. And big game for Marshall as well. Jason Marshall, as he has an interception in the game. So those are your stats, everybody. Got a couple of other super chats to get to. Thank you to Tate Miller for the $4.99. Says, to be honest, I know this sucks, but I'm still optimistic about the future, provided we get someone like Kubiak, J-Mac, Buka, Bucky, Wirfs, etc. Yeah, I mean, I think a good offensive mind, and that's not to say Josh Grizzard isn't, but a more seasoned offensive mind, I think, is probably better for this group. Dominic Cherry, thanks for the $1.99, says there has to be a coaching overhaul. And he follows that up with another $1.99 super chat. Says, don't know if it's Grizz or has Baker fallen off. That's an interesting one. How do you feel about that, Daniel?
To me, it's both. Josh Grizzard, his problem scheme-wise, you see it with a coach like Mike McDaniel right now, where he could turn a 7th-round rookie into a guy who's effective. He's producing out there on the football field right now. And a Baker with his accuracy issues, he's fixed it up kind of a bit. But some of his passes have been low, and he's been bailed out by J-Mac during this game. I don't know if there's an injury. I think Baker Mayfield, he's dealing with something. He's not 100% healthy out there. None of these guys are. I think early on, those runs that those big scrambles, those big runs that he had in the beginning of the season, maybe taking some of those hits really hurt him. And that's why we're seeing these accuracy issues now. Of course, we know the left shoulder injury from the Los Angeles Rams game. I feel like he's dealing with something, and that's affecting his accuracy overall. He's improved a little bit in terms of accuracy, but some of those passes are being too low for my liking. Even that interception by Marshall, that was a low pass thrown by Baker Mayfield. It's both of them. It's Josh Grizzard not being able to scheme guys really open in a way where you have all these weapons. This is like an offensive coordinator's dream. Imagine Liam Cohen with all these guys. This offense would be scoring 30, 35 points per game. This would not be a top 5 offense. This would be a top 1 or 2 offense. if you had Josh Grizzard, Liam Cohen calling this game. But this is an issue for both of these guys, scheme-wise with a Grizzard and execution for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I agree. It's not just one guy's fault or the other. It goes hand in hand. Injuries have been a big part. Josh Grizzard he needs more experience play calling. And I think, they always say sink or swim. I think he's sinking a little bit more, and he's kind of treading water, trying to figure out how to, make things right for this team. I mean, it's crazy to me that Mike Evans only has one catch for 16 yards in a must-win, do-or-die type of game. It takes a lot of self-reflection, but you can't really have that until the season is done. And it's also a weird spot because despite what Ian Rappaport may have reported, you need self-reflection, but also Grizzard may not have that opportunity to be the play caller next season, even if Todd Bowles is here. And if Todd Bowles isn't, it's likely Grizzard's out the door. So, I don't know, a little bit of a tough one. Gator, Florida, thank you for the $4.99. Says, Glazers have to part ways with Bowles and Arians. Arians has too much input. No, he doesn't. Arians came on this show and said, I voice some opinions here and there. If they seek my advice, I'm happy to help. But he's chilling in his vacation house.
He's golfing in Arizona and Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, he'll talk to Jason Light, but Arians doesn't have input on this offense. Light isn't the guy, either bad front seven and DBs, bad vibes team. Light needs to readjust how he assembles this team, but I don't think Light should be out the door. Cali Dad 87, thanks for the $5 super chat. Says coaching has a lot to do with the good players. Look at Drake May as the perfect example. Before Vrabel, he looked like trash. Yeah, it certainly helps having Josh McDaniel. Now, again, May was a rookie last year, second-year player, kind of taking that leap. But, yeah, totally get what you're saying. Rustman, thanks for the $1.99. Says, calling me crazy. We should sell Antoine Winfield Jr. this offseason. Okay. I was going to ask how you feel, but
no. That safety tandem, Tyke Smith and Antoine Winfield, keep both of those guys. They're not the problem. The lack of edge production, the lack of sacks, that's a problem. $14 million to Hassan Reddick. He's not that guy, unfortunately. Yaya Diaby, he's barely that guy. As a you said it before, he's more of a edge two. He's a fringe edge two. But yeah, if this team had a guy who can get double-digit sacks, 11, 12, 13 sacks a season, this defense will look much better because you have guys who can think about the Los Angeles Rams that this team saw on Sunday Night Football. They really don't blitz much. Chris Shula. What they do is they rely on their front four to get Bryce Young, Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, those guys, Kobe Turner. They trust those guys to get to the quarterback, and they do. And that makes a guy like Emmanuel Forbes look much better than he actually is. I mean, the problem is they don't have guys that can really get to the quarterback pressure, like Larry Foote said that Hassan Reddick is getting.
Yeah.
But you don't get paid to get pressure. You get paid to bring the quarterback down. They don't have a guy who can really bring the quarterback down at a consistent rate. And how do you get one of those guys? You got to go, if you want an established guy already, well, you have to you have to sell your kidney to get a guy back to Brinks truck up in free agency. Or if you trade for a Max Crosby or a Myles Garrett, but for those guys getting a little bit older too, you're going to have to give up, 2 first-round picks and a little bit more. Are you willing to do that? Plus, you have to deal with the cap. Now, I'm not saying that it's out of the realm, but it's just not easy finding that guy. I think Light has missed with all of his edge rushers, maybe even the Diaby, that's his best. But Chris Braswell, Anthony Edwards a few years ago, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, Chris Braswell, these guys, he doesn't hit even a free agency besides Shaq Barrett and the trade for JPP, which is good. But he hasn't really hit in the draft with one of these guys. He gets guys that are very athletic at times, like Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, but they don't have proven sack production in college. Outside a guy like David Walker, who unfortunately we didn't get to see this year because of that torn training camp. But they don't have a guy who can get to the quarterback at a consistent rate, and that really hurts his defense, and that hurts those defensive backs.
Yeah, edge rusher is way more of a need as Sean Tucker begins the game in the backfield for Tampa Bay. On offense, they go play action. Baker rolls out, throws to Ibuka. Hey, look at that. Emeka Ibuka gets a solid gain on first down. Yeah, I mean, you're not trading Winfield unless it's an offer you can't refuse. So at that point, we're talking about at least 2 first-round picks, because if you trade Antoine Winfield Jr., and I agree with you, like, edge rusher is way more of a need on defense, well, then you have to replace Antoine Winfield Jr.
Exactly.
And it's like you're not just going to use a first-round draft pick on a safety. So, yeah, it would have to be an insane, gargantuan offer. Paul Morales, thanks for the $1.99 super chat, says, throw the damn ball to Mike. I could not agree more. It's a handoff to, I think that's Bucky. Yeah. Short game, makes it 3rd and short. Sean D, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Being positive, says, Bucs are going to dominate the second half. Let's go, Pewter Report. I respect your positivity, Sean.
I like the
Thank you for
positivity. There we go.
The comment said Snoop Dogg for head coach.
Yeah, the name there is a little bit wild, but yeah, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, not gonna put that up
No,
real
no.
long. Okay. You gotta step up quicker, Baker. Luke Edeke just tossed this guy. Oh man,
Well,
terrible throw by Baker Mayfield.
And if you saw the disappointment on Chris Godwin Jr.'s face, he was open. But again, low. Baker Mayfield has been a bit inaccurate today, but his passes, the inaccurate passes, haven't been high like we've seen before. It's been very low to the ground. You just can't hit Chris Godwin Jr. Would have been a first down. He was disappointed. Chris Godwin Jr. disappointed if you saw his face. Bad throw.
And Baker's usually pretty good on throwing on the run.
Yeah. But that kills your drive early. Now you got to put your trust in this defense to get a stop, which they haven't really shown.
And a horrible punt.
Yep.
By Riley Dixon.
And if we're being realistic, if this team wants to enter the playoffs and they go up against the Rams or the Seahawks, they're not going to be able to compete with any of these teams, these playoff teams, unfortunately. With the way they're playing right now, the NFL is not for long. Things can change.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this will be a first-round exit type of team. So, I know fans, of course, want this team and to enter the postseason, but because entering the dance, you enter the dance, and who knows what can happen once you enter the dance. It's just realistically, this team can't win in a shootout against the Seahawks. Could this team beat the Eagles right now? I don't think so.
No, I mean, the Bucs can't beat anyone right now.
Yeah, they can't even beat a 6-9 Miami Dolphins team right now.
No. Oy vey. This is getting really difficult to watch.
Keys44 says, I don't think we could beat the Raiders. With the way they're playing right now, I don't think they could have beat the Raiders.
No. The Bucs couldn't beat any other team in the league right now. The Titans, the Jets, the Giants.
And if they do, it'll come down to the final few seconds. It'll be the cardiac Bucs, the final few seconds.
Yes.
Exactly.
It
wouldn't be a convincing win at all.
Man, that's a terrible punt by Riley Dixon as well.
Special team Wolves continue here.
I like this comment from Hezo813 who says, the comment's moving so fast. Baker not hurt enough to be playing this poorly. Can't keep giving him that out. Yeah, I agree. He's been healthier the past 3 weeks than he has, all the ones prior. Sean D, thanks for the $1.99 super chat, says Baker fell off a cliff. He's played his worst football down the stretch. There's no denying it. I mean, that was just Chris Godwin was wide open. And I get it. He's throwing on the run, but there was no one around him. He could have floated. He could have done whatever. Baker comes up limping a little bit. All right, let's see what else can go wrong for Tampa Bay.
Well, this is a good false start on Miami's offense.
Yeah. Sure, it'll come out after the season. Baker Mayfield played with blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's take a look at Tyke Smith, if he's in.
Yeah.
Like this comment from AA Ron the Buck. Yeah, looks like Tyke's in there.
No, that's Christian Izzy.
Oh, that's Christian Izzy. I saw the 2.
No, yeah, it was difficult to see. I wonder what happened. I don't think he's benched.
Yeah.
It would have to be a scenario where, unless he's upset, because that was a busted coverage they're showing right now at the touchdown. I would put that on Tyke Smith, not Jamel Dean, unless Bowles is really upset with him that he actually benched him. But I wouldn't have benched him for that. We talked about this earlier. To me, he's played better than Antoine Winfield Jr. has this season. One bad play, I would have benched him for that.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any reports as Yaya Diaby with a sack. Nice.
Yaya Diaby.
I haven't seen anything about Tyke injured or anything like that. Nice job by Yaya.
Yaya Diaby.
I'll give him the sack video as well. Sub-0, Yaya. It's a 3rd and 24. The Bucs cannot mess this up. And they don't. Hey, look at that. Levante with the tackle. Defense making a play.
Good job, defense. Can the offense produce now? Can the offense do something positive out there? I don't want to see Riley Dixon in this job. I don't want to see Riley Dixon cap this off. I don't even want to see Chase McLaughlin out there. I want to see this team get into the end zone, score a touchdown.
Let's get a good return. Cameron Johnson, not even seen him on the... Wow, what a boot by the punter. Johnson to the outside. All right. Bucs will get at the 35. Looks like a turnover for Carolina. Oh, yeah, Seattle's trying to take the lead as well. That's a big-time pick by Mike Jackson. It looks like his toe was on the line. And thus, it just goes an incompletion. By the way, Saints are trailing to the Titans 20-10. That's big for all the tanking going on. But if you're someone like me that took the Saints -2.5, you're not loving it. I'll be loving it. I'll be loving it. Some people are saying they want Dan Lanning as the next head coach of the Bucs. I'd be cool with that. I'm open to like different outside the box options for the Bucs. I'll be loving it. I'll be loving it. Got a super chat from Sioux Empire Crusaders. Thanks for this $2. Says both touchdowns were on Tyke. He looked lost in the first half. Saints got a first down. Sandglassen says Bucky and Tez would like Lanning as a coach. That's true. Rustman, thanks for the $1.99, says, I've heard rumor Brent Venables is looking to go pro. That'd be interesting. I mean, had a great defense at Oklahoma, but I don't know how much that translates to, the NFL level. I don't know. I think if you go offensive coach, I think if you go college coach, you got to go offense. All right. New drive for the Bucs. Down 10 with 11:55 to go. Plenty of football remaining. It's going to be a swing pass to Rachaad White. Has some blockers in front. Sneaks out. Picks up about 7 yards. Oh, they did count the interception for. Oh, man. Chaos going on. Panthers got the ball back, tied at 3. It looks like there was a fumble and a scoop and score by the Seahawks. So that is good news for Tampa Bay. Second and 4. It's play action. Ben Chakuma got beat. Baker's going to step up, run, slot. Oh, they might not give him the first down. Nope, they didn't. Here comes a 3rd and inches that the Bucs probably won't get.
Slid a little bit too early there.
I get it, though. You want to avoid getting hit.
Yeah. Of course, better to slide than dive. 3rd and 1. Let's see if they can get this. Was empty set, but now Rachaad White comes back into the backfield.
Oh, man. I don't like this. Hand up. Bucs go play action.
A lot of time.
Running around. Nobody's open. Scrambling for his life. And he got it. Bowles with a smile. Baker doing everything he can. Want to go deep, thought twice about it. New set of downs for Tampa Bay.
Ran up the middle by Rachaad White.
You knew they were going to run it after Baker just ran all over town. But a nice game by Shad.
Matt, you have the Seattle game on. They didn't count the scoop and score? Is that what happened?
The score did not count, but it was ruled a fumble.
Okay.
So, yeah, Seattle is in field goal range. Though they lost a ton of yards on their first play. So it's 2nd and 16 for Seattle. But well within field goal range.
Okay.
2nd and 3 for Tampa Bay. 9 minutes to go. Baker throws down the field. He has Tez Johnson. Look at that.
Accurate pass between 2 defenders.
Tez.
Tez sighting.
That's his 2nd catch of the game. Tez Johnson has more catches than Mike Evans in this game. Go figure. Nice route. I like this camera angle. $8:25 to go. Wild buck. Nope. Then they get out of it. So it's the pony package. Baker throwing down the field, looking for Evans. Oh, man. Unreal catch. I don't think he kept
the feet.
The 2nd toe in. A lot of hand fighting.
No, he's out, unfortunately. Man.
Sick catch, though.
Yeah.
At least they took a shot. Just one catch for Mike. Bucs go pony again. It's going to be a run for a loss of a yard.
Yep, good stop there by Zach Steeler. 3rd and 10 now.
Player we spoke about on the pregame show.
It's rare for an interior defensive lineman to have. He has 25 and a half sacks over the last 3 years. Really good there. Just hasn't had that sack production this year, but he's at 5.5. But man,
5.5, second on the Dolphins.
That's good, yeah. But not his normal production.
3rd and 10 for Tampa Bay. Got trips to the right.
Baker moving around, scrambling. Going for the first.
Oh,
there we
he's
go.
on the move. Can he make one defender miss? He does. Baker, never say die, Mayfield. He gets the Bucs a first down. And Seattle has scored a touchdown. Sorry.
There we go. That's good. Early in the year when he would have these big scrambles, it would hype up the rest of the offense. Guys they'll start patting him. Like they get hyped, they get energized. But these 2 scrambles he's done this drive, there's no it doesn't look like there's an energy shift. They don't go up to him and it doesn't hype up this team like it did earlier in the season.
Yeah, now it feels like more of a sigh of relief.
Yeah,
more than anything else. Nice run by Bucky up the middle. Bucky's inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for Tampa Bay. Selfishly, I would love a Mike Evans anytime touchdown.
It's Dan Glassman. Yes, the Seahawks scored. That game is 10-3. Comp JG wants a fade to Mike. He's on board if he's on that.
Let's see that fade. And Jordan Brooks is out of the game. That's huge for Miami.
Yeah.
I think I would stick with the run on 1st down.
Yeah, that safety looks like he's going to lean Mike Evans' way. He did.
Bucs run it. Oh, man. Whew. Tough sledding for Tampa Bay running the ball today.
I mean,
you got cut to the outside.
Michael Jordan, you got Dan Feeney on the offensive line. The offensive line isn't there.
Second and goal for the Bucs. Feels like they can't afford to settle for 3 on this drive. Swing pass to Rachaad White. Not much. Red zone woes. Okay, crucial 3rd and goal. Who's going to step up for Tampa Bay? Got Evans to the left, Godwin in the slot. Mayfield looking. Oh, he goes to pump fake and just loses it. Can he throw it? I don't know. And just goes out of bounds.
What a disaster. Wow.
That was almost catastrophic.
All right. I want to be aggressive, but you need points. Chase McLaughlin has to come out here, make it a 1-possession ball game.
Big yikes.
Now, this is not a gimme. Remember, this is 33 yards. They had the block kicked earlier.
By no means is it easy.
Special teams woes all day today.
33-yard attempt for Chase McLaughlin is good. Bucs cut into their deficit. It's now 17-10 with a little under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Okay, let's get to some comments. Any super chats I missed? Let's see.
I'm still not seeing anything injury-wise on Tyke Smith. And I did see
Yeah,
a
looks like
second touchdown. I saw a second touchdown here by the tight end. And both the touchdowns were on Tyke Smith, unfortunately. So I don't know if we do have an actual benching situation here where Todd Bowles is kind of fed up.
Tate Miller, thanks for the $1.99 super chat, says Kubiak for next head coach. Let's not overcomplicate it. Yeah, I think it's got to be an offensive coach.
I got
Chase
names.
Rick.
I'm going to wait to the end of the season, but Clint Kubiak would be one of my guys there. Yeah.
Chase Rick says, I just got back from an engagement party, and I kind of wish I had stayed. You probably should have.
You haven't missed much, buddy.
Yeah. Fidel Castro says, LOL, Kate Otten, put in Culp. To what Cinco Ocho says, of course, that's how the drive ended.
Adventures out there. Go Bucs from Tennessee. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. And, I mean, right now Seattle has a 7-point lead. Looks like they're about to get the ball as well. So, one way or another, the Bucs are have a chance to survive and make the postseason. Yep. Bryce Young was just picked, so Seattle's going to have it in good field position. The Real Maverick says, Young is 16 yards today. Next week he'll have 300 plus.
300 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Jem says, there is no evidence that this team deserves to win or will win. Detroit is a much better team, got knocked off. So does this team really belong in the playoffs? Inept across every facet of the team. So glad I've not watched a second of this game. Yeah, I don't blame you for not watching.
I mean, we talked about this. Oh, big return here by Miami, Malik Washington. He does have a punt.
Oh, jeez. Malik Washington. Chase McLaughlin gets drilled. Remember, it's a one possession. Like, they're down 7. So any score by Miami is a 2-possession game. Devin Culp missed tackle. Anthony Walker just got there. Elijah Simmons. Oh, no, that was Culp. Sorry. Hey, look at that. Great hustle by Chris Braswell.
Yeah, that's Dash Mal's favorite player, Chris Braswell. Doing great on special teams.
I mean, honestly, Miami just has to run it 2 times. We'll get a first down, and then they're in field goal range.
Yep. Savasi
Blitz Levante David. There you go. There you go. Get aggressive. Play like your season's on the line. All right, 2nd and 15. Bucs defense trying to make a stand.
Oh, boy. The tackling is horrible.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
It was 2nd and 15. That looks so easy.
I mean, he's just bouncing off him like a pinball.
Was a running back, Mike Tolbert, who used to play for the Panthers, just like a bowling ball like that, like a pinball, just boom, boom, boom. Nobody could get him down.
Definitely see that. And Seattle just scored again. So don't worry, Bucs fans. Bucs can still win the division next week at home.
Isn't it fitting for the cardiac Bucs for it to come down to the very end?
Yeah, that does make it. That actually does make a lot of sense. Ay, ay, ay.
Hassan Reddick looks a bit injured holding that shoulder.
Oh, man. So that means more JPP or Chris Bradswell. They're actually both on the field for this snap.
JPP, dude. JPP fully had his arms around Devon Achane and could not.
For sure. But also, if they show the replay, Jacob Parrish just stopped. Like, Jacob Parrish has got to go and try to make the tackle as well. I hope they show a replay. They probably won't. Nope. There's a thing called gang tackling where everybody goes to the ball. There was none of that. Yeah, now they flip sides. I don't know why they flip sides every other play. We'll play action. JPP with the pass breakup.
He redeemed himself.
All right, 2nd and 10, 46 seconds to go.
All right, false start on Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Back them up 5.
Steinbauer Sports says, in all seriousness, it's funny when Matt says JPP. Yeah, shout out to Stephen Che, big-time Bucs fan. He does the JPP impersonation, so I'm paying homage to Stephen Che, giving him a shout-out. He also does a very funny Giovanni Bernard, but he's no longer on the team. But yeah, he just goes, JPP.
I remember he got Giovanni Bernard to do the Giovanni Bernard.
He got him to do it, and then he was at a training camp where Tom Brady was speaking, and he did it right in front of Brady, which is pretty funny. Okay, got a $5 super chat from Rusty Shackleton. Thank you very much. Says, this team is frustrating, and I'm an Oilers fan. Go Bucs from Edmonton. Yeah, at least he got to watch Connor McDavid. 2 straight Stanley Cup finals, but lost in both of them. But appreciate your support. The guys get this. Now been a Pewter Report YouTube channel member for 6 months. Thank you so much. Says, who's our tackling coach? Maybe they need to bring in a rugby coach to teach tackling. And Chase Rick says, Monkey, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, Monkey paw curls. Instead of being eliminated in mid-November, we've opted to be eliminated on the last game of the season. Well, that's not going to happen with, or at least it can happen if the Seahawks win, which they are winning. So anyway, that's the end of the third quarter. It's time to go to the fourth quarter. Bucs are down by a touchdown. Looks like they're going to be down by 2 scores. But put those 4s up, Bucs fans, Pewter people. Let's, I don't know, maybe drive some momentum for this team. As Diesel does. Capo Jan says 1-8 in the last 9 games. How does this not make the Glazers want a new coach? It's extremely difficult to justify. Q's 44. some fours. Chase Rick, the guy's gifted. Daniel Gomez, Cecil D, Comp JG. Bucks guy says 4s down. Bowles is a clown. Stevie, with a couple 4s. Cincy Kid says 4. I am believing in the Bucks. Woo! Respect that. Rusty Shackelford with a great reference says Patches O'Houlihan needs to yell at this team. That's a dodgeball reference. Shout out to an all-time movie. King Cook with a 4. Yeah. 4's up. Bart Harley Jarvis says JPP giving more effort than anyone else out there. He's always been an all-effort guy. And also, thank you for being a Pewter Report YouTube channel member for 14 months now. That's awesome. Rust Man with a couple 4s. The Real Maverick says 4. Let's go. Parentheses, I guess. Don't really blame you there. Not a lot to be happy about. Whew, couple blowouts in these 1 o'clock games. I mean, they're all 1 o'clock games except for the 2 4 o'clocks in the Sunday night. But Jets getting annihilated by the Patriots, and the Bengals are kicking the crap out of the Cardinals. Those are really the only true blowouts. Browns Steelers really close. 10-6. Only a couple minutes into the fourth quarter. Chris Scott, thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Says, what happens with the Bucs and Panthers loss? If the Bucs and Panthers lose, then it's winner take all in Tampa next week when they play against each other. Nice tackle by Jacob Parrish. Bucs are going to get the stop, but because of that kick return, set the Dolphins up with good enough position where only a first down or two got them into field goal range. So field goal is on. And to think it could be 20-13 if the Bucs didn't get their kick blocked.
Well, the 31-yard attempt by Riley Pattinson is good. Dolphins go up 20-10.
14-15 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, King Cook, this is why I was saying this earlier. We're struggling to the Dolphins, who have nothing to play for except for spoiler. It's sad. I mean, this team, the Buccaneers, I said earlier, they don't have that fire in them, the killer instinct. Your season is on the line. Now, maybe it's not because the Seahawks are currently beating the Carolina Panthers, and if they lose this game, if the Buccaneers lose this game, they're still okay. If the Panthers lose also, but man, I haven't seen it these past few weeks. That fire that you would expect a team that's trying to survive, they don't have that fire in them.
Yeah,
they're not going to when they go to the playoffs. If they reach, they're not going to beat anybody. Unfortunately, if they continue to play like this.
No, yeah, Carolina maybe could beat the Rams or whoever is the wild card. But the Bucs, no chance.
No.
As Bryce Young runs for a first down, and Carolina trying to make it a one-score game. Son the Child says, this team is a joke. The Real Maverick says, 0 fire.
Yep.
Eureka Mazino says, got no more words for this team, LOL. It's tough trying to find the words. MH Fam says stadium looks kind of empty. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to this game. Let's see. Baker's at 174. Buccaneers at 148. Need some receiving yards for Mike Evans. This is crazy.
Matt, I've seen this question a few times here, but JD Foster says, Matt, you prefer Hendrickson or Crosby? Do you got an opinion on that?
Crosby, without a doubt. I mean, Hendrickson is coming off of a hip injury, and his production was still going down last season. Or, last season when he played more. Max Crosby had more sacks this year than he did a season ago. And they're both on bad teams where you're playing from behind a lot. Imagine if you're playing on a team that it's a close game or you're playing with the lead. That could do a lot for each of them. But yeah, to me, it's Crosby all day.
Yeah, if there was to be a trade for one of these guys, because of that John Svitek, Jason Light connection, I would lean it's the most realistic. If there was going to be a trade, it would probably be for Max Crosby. I would agree with that.
And Sean D, thanks for the $4.99 super chat, says 24-20. He believes the Bucs are going to come back and win this game. So still staying positive. All right. Bucs go empty on this 1st and 10. Mayfield throws down the field looking for Mike, and it's just too high. And they're going to call an offensive pass interference.
Yes. Rizio Douglas celebrating it. Yeah, it's going to be on Mike.
Even worse. Even worse. Damn. Oh, wow! I got a super chat from my cousin Mike. Thanks, Mike, for the $4.99 super chat. Mike Patera, good to see you. Good to hear from you, man. Says, "Hey, cuz, still plenty of time left. Hopefully, we see a big comeback. Keep doing your thing. Appreciate that so much. Hope you're doing well, my man.
That's awesome.
Glad you're not watching the Jets. That's at least a good thing. But thank you so much for the super chat. Screen pass to Emeka Ibuka on 2nd and 14, and doesn't go for too much. So we'll see. But man, this has been tough to watch. Now 2nd and 14. Excuse me. Baker in shotgun. He's got Ibuka and Godwin to the left, Evans and Otten to the right. Baker fires one to Godwin, who can't stay up for too much. He's even yelling as well. He had a chance to make a big-time play. But they'll bring up a 3rd down. The Real Maverick says, screen, 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 LOL. Third and 7 coming up with 13:09 to go. A little bit of an injury. It looks like KJ Britt, actually. Former Buccaneer great.
Buccaneer great. Good one.
I use that with any player that spent time with a team. Yeah, I'm just joking with the Buck grade. I'm not actually serious about it, but all right, crucial 3rd and 7. Man, only 10 points for this offense. Dolphins bring a blitz. Baker fires over the middle. It's incomplete. Oh, thought Evans had it. Bucs just aren't making clutch plays.
No, Marshall
I get it.
Very difficult, yeah.
I get he had the slide, but Mike's got to make that catch. Hit maybe slightly early, but still. That's a tough one. Bucs will have to punt, which has been an adventure today.
Yeah, I was about to say that Keys 44 says running out of time. You can't keep punting. You got to, because this could be a long drive by the Dolphins. They can rush, get first downs, waste a lot of time. This is a 2-possession ball game. Man, it's just
okay.
Unfortunate.
Finally, the Bucs make a play on special teams. Carl G says, Bull saw the Carolina game on the board and said, screw it, let's lose. LOL, JK. Free Subtitles AI says, we will win next week, make the playoffs at 8-9. That would be such a Todd Bowles way of getting into the postseason.
JG says, Bucks great, Josh Hayes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not kidding. Josh Hayes, if you think about it, Josh Hayes and Chris Braswell, to me, they're the cornerstones of this defense and special teams. Like, they could be the future of the team. Those two guys right there. And Logan Hall. Maybe they should re-sign Logan Hall.
Yeah. Rusty Shackleton says, worst division in pro sports. Honestly, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. JD Foster says, why even make the playoffs if we're going to get curb stomped in the wild card? Might as well wear the creamsicles too and make it a historic loss. You know what they should do is wear the 1976 throwback uniforms. They're undefeated in those unis.
There we go. Dashman says, yes, Daniel, finally you're seeing the light. Listen, I'm all in on the Chris Braswell train. I used to say that I think he should be cut in the offseason. I think he's taken up a roster spot. But did you see that special teams tackle, Matt, earlier? That was insane. And then Josh Hayes right there. Man, this is good stuff here. Logan Hall, I would give him like maybe a 4-year, $160 million deal like Myles Garrett.
Yeah, make him the highest paid DT in the league.
He has potential.
Bryce Young has scored a touchdown for Carolina. They trail 17-9 with the extra point looming. But there's a lot of time in that game. 13 minutes to go.
Uh-oh. Aaron, the Bucs says 160 million. That's it. And Dash now, he's all heart and hustle.
We got a $9.99 super chat from Mopar Buck. Thank you very much, Mopar. It says Miami is pulling players to help us win, and we still can't, with some laughing and crying emojis. But, of course, it will get ignored because we're more concerned with the Panthers losing their game rather than us winning ours. Shaking my head. Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's the only thing that can kind of keep them going.
Yep, now the Seahawks game is 10-17.
Ay, Madon.
Remember last week, I forgot who it was, the super chat. Somebody's girlfriend, Meredith, is now a new Bucs fan. Everybody was like, this is not...
Yeah. Now it's not
like, get ready for the ride.
Late flag. What the heck is this?
It's gonna be
Bucs could get a safety here. Was that holding in the end zone? Because that would be a safety.
The penalty is declined.
Okay. I guess it wouldn't be in the end zone anyway because they had the ball at the 1 yard line. No Jamel Dean on defense.
Yeah, no Dean, no Tyke Smith.
So it's BMO and Kendall Vildor?
And Jacob.
Oh, no, they're putting. Okay, they're putting Izzy in the slot and Parrish outside. Okay. Oh, Izzy almost makes a sick play, but nice tackle at the line of scrimmage on Waller. Yeah, I guess Waller can only play at the goal line trying to score or at the goal line trying to go 99 yards the other way. Okay, big play. Still enough time if the Bucs can get a stop. A lot of moving parts. I think the Dolphins get conservative. Nope. Oh my God. Dolchich with the first down. The Bucs can't get. No, sorry, not Dolchich, but either way, it's a first down. That's Hill with a crucial reception. Bucs can't get the stop.
Yeah, Antoine is bit with the fake. Allowed Hill, the tight end, get open. Man.
That might do them in, folks. Because now they're not going to get the ball back until at least 8 minutes. And you're going to need at least 2 scores. I mean, yeah, the Bucs can create a turnover, but we also have to be realistic. Man. And if Carolina comes back, what will that say about the TODD? And you know what would suck as well is, let's just say the Bucs lose, Carolina comes back, they win. We're looking at a situation where week 18, there's nothing at stake because the playoffs are already clinched. Carolina's probably going to just play all their backups because they can't move up in the seeding. They are set at the 4 seed. So, I mean, that's going to be one of the most boring games ever.
Empty stadium, Bucs starters versus the Panthers backups.
Yeah. And they'll probably still lose.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
Or
Diesel says play their backups and still win.
Yeah. Or the Bucs will bash them by like 40 and everyone's be like, see, Todd Bowles figured it out. Drew Kawab, thank you for the $5 super chat, says Bowles basically treating the Bucs fan base like DK Metcalf. Damn.
That was crazy. The DK Metcalf and the fan.
That's a crazy situation for sure. Oh, look at that. 3rd and 9. It's close. Too close for comfort, I'd say.
Good concentration catch also by Wilson. Came out of the scene. Got it 4 for 1.
Man, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to punt. But who knows? We see some trickery. No trickery.
Kings are awful. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Says, I don't trust Ian Rappaport. If we lose the division, he's gone. Yeah, it's possible. I would say everything's still on the table.
Yeah, again, with the Ian Rappaport, that was just his opinion. He says, I don't believe Todd Bowles' job, blah, blah. You know, it was an opinion-based thing. He didn't say, it wasn't an actual report. It was more opinion-based. So anything could go. For me, I haven't called for Todd Bowles' job yet because I'm waiting for how this season ends, rule it out. I mean, but if he loses these last 2 games, I would say his job definitely isn't safe. Far from safe.
Dat Boy Kells 808 says, we shouldn't fire the cannons. We need to fire Bowles. That's a good comment.
And we got a comment here. Barber told Ian. Well, Barber, I don't know if you saw the clip, but Barber believes also, and he's inside. You know, he has an ear inside the building. He doesn't believe that Todd Bowles' job is also in the line. He thinks he's safe. Now he said he could be wrong, but he's a guy who's pretty tuned in.
Yeah, pretty dialed in. It all comes down to who's available, what type of candidates are there. Cove 1331 or 1331. Thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Says the high school football team defense in my hometown could play better than this garbage. Could the Bucs beat Indiana? I don't know. No, yeah, they would. Tyler Shook. Oh, what a play, Tyler Shook. Jawan Johnson. Crazy. Tim Burton says, Rondé also said Bucky would miss the remainder of the season, too. Rondé just be talking.
Yeah, Rondé Barber, he didn't get the insight in the Bucky situation. That was a complicated one. But, I mean, he even said himself he could be wrong. But he's not hearing anything that Bulls is close to being fired or that his job is even on the line. Who knows? We'll see. Time will tell all, right?
Yeah.
We'll see in a few weeks. They won't do an in-season fire, of course. That's not how the Glazers operate. It will be at the end of the season. And I think if they did move on from Todd Bowles also, you would see a situation where they could try to save, his face overall. And it would be like they say he retires. Like, it wouldn't be like he's fired. It'll be a retirement kind of thing. But we would know it essentially means they want to part ways. Yeah.
All right. Let's see how the Bucs go about it this time. By the way, John says, I need vodka after this. I hear you, man. Uh-oh. Okay, never mind. Buka with a nice catch. I saw the blitz on the outside. Baker did not see it. How did the Saints not jump on that ball? You had two guys right there. Oh, man. 2nd and 3 for Tampa Bay. Baker looking, dancing, throws. Bucky can't make the catch.
But it's low again, Baker with these low passes. Since the first drive when J-Mac was bailing him out with the baseball slides. Just low.
I mean, let's be real. The defense has had a lot of issues today, and I get it. It's Quinn Ewers. It's not an upper level quarterback in this league, but 20 points. If that's all Miami scores, 20 points should still be enough.
Yeah, in today's modern offense or league, 20 or 23 points like last week, your offense should put up more than that. And a huge reception by J-Mac on 33. Big
catch and run. Nice job by Jalen McMillan, bailing out the Bucs.
Balin McMillan, that's a good nickname because he's
Balin McMillan, yeah. Job well done. High stepping as he kept going. Bucs need to go up tempo.
Oh, Ben Shakuma got beat.
Yep. And Baker gets out of it. What? Baker scrambling throws, caught by Evans. That's a first down. Wow. Yeah. What a play. Mike Evans is very angry.
Uh-oh.
Or just fired up.
No, his neck. He's injured.
Nope, he's very angry.
He's holding his neck.
Man. Yeah, maybe Mike will retire. Now Bucs could be out. Top receiver. Baker fires down the field. It's picked. Intercepted. Baker with another pick.
These late fourth quarter interceptions killed the team the last 2 weeks. Kills them again here.
That's 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
They were Atlanta, too.
Yeah. That was D. Alford, the nickel.
And Mike potentially hurt. Oh, man. Let me see if I missed any super chats. Nope. Okay. Man, this hurts. And if you're hurt and you think you have a case on your hands, make sure to contact the people at Jorgensen Law.
Welcome to Jorgensen Law, PA, where our family's legacy drives us to fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury, workers' compensation, and Social Security, we're committed to winning for you. No fees unless we succeed. Trust in our family to help yours. Let's achieve justice together.
That's right. Jorgensen Law is the official law firm of PewterReport.com and Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel. They're the champions of the injured and disabled. They have an office over in St. Pete, and you can get a free case evaluation just by meeting with them and seeing if there's a case for you. Give them a call at 727-347-7733 for more information. That's 727-347-7733, and they don't take any fees until they win your case. You're not going to be able to find a better deal than what Jorgensen Law is offering you. Jorgensen Law, the champions of the injured and disabled. You can see them on all of our injury-related stories on pewterreport.com. Well,
the only good here is... I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No. The only good here for Bucs fans, I know a huge segment of Bucs fans, they want Todd Bowles out, so they're okay with the losing. But Seattle, they're 10 yards out from scoring again here. Second and 8.
They almost just scored. Cooper Kupp dropped it. Well, okay. It was a tough play.
This can come out next week, next Sunday.
Yeah. Kings are awful. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Says Baker's leading the Fire Bowls movement. Son the Child says, thanks for the $2 super chat, says, this coaching sucks. Virgin Boys, thank you for the $1.99. I just want to see the replay here. Yeah, I guess he thought Ibuka was going to cut in, but he didn't. Virgin Boys, thanks for the $1.99. Says he did all that just to throw that BS. LOL. Frustrating times for Tampa Bay. Bucs defense doing their job in the second half. They've only allowed, a field goal? And that came on the big return?
Yeah, and Chris Brazzell, a tremendous stop right there for a loss of 1. Yeah. Second 11. Chris Brazzell, yep. The Ashmount, Brazzell, TFL.
Bucs guy says, anybody want a free Baker jersey? If not, I'm going to burn it. Don't burn the jersey. Keita Villain says, I'm not even mad at the defense today. Yeah, the more and more I think about it, the touchdowns they've allowed have been pretty egregious. But again, 20 points is not too bad in today's NFL against any team.
Yeah, you have a point there. And last week, Baker Mayfield, end of the fourth quarter, had an opportunity. It was 20-23, had an opportunity to either tie it or to take the lead. He throws an interception. These late fourth quarter interceptions, they've hurt the Buccaneers. This has been more on the offense. Late in the game has been more on the offense and the execution of Baker Mayfield than it's been on the defense. Now, the defense looks ugly. It looks bad. But again, they allowed 20 points today so far. We'll see if that stands. 23 last week. The offense needs to produce. And I'm not defending anybody here. It's just like the offense needs to step up also.
Viewers on 3rd and 11. Wow. A play made. Benjamin Morrison with the PBU.
Black, I'm talking about.
By the way, Seattle kicked a field goal, so it's 20-10. I wonder how Mike Evans is doing. Dolphins punted away. Now, the Bucs do have all 3 timeouts. And listen, there's nothing to point to and say, oh, well, the Bucs did this right. The Bucs did that right. Mike Evans looks like he's okay. He's not running on the field, but he was on the sidelines with his helmet on.
He's coming out behind Baker here.
Okay, cool. Yep, there he is. Nice. Man. No points by the Bucs. Oh, wait, no. They had the field goal. Excuse me. In the second half, I was going to say. Just 3 points apiece. No, that can't be right either.
Where's this Bucs guy here?
Yeah, just 3 points by each side in the second half. Bucs looking to tie it up. Going to need 2 possessions to do so. Baker throws, caught by Godwin Jr. That's a first down, depending on where they spot it. Got to go up tempo.
You have to
Got to go
score
up
quickly
tempo.
here.
We prefer 7, but got to go up tempo one way or another.
Yep, and do not use any timeouts. Just drive here.
Correct.
You just go. Just go.
Godwin over middle. That's fine. Got to move it. They got to score before the 2-minute warning, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even if you have all 3 timeouts, got to score before it. Baker looking, throwing down the field, looking for. Oh, that would have been a sick catch by Emeka Buka. But no dice.
But he's throwing right into double coverage. That could have been picked. He threw it high, so thankfully it wasn't picked. But not a smart throw, not a smart decision. He's trying to force it there. Brings a 3rd and 3 situation here. 4:39. All timeouts remain for both teams.
Has to be 2 down territory.
Oh, no doubt. Definitely.
Baker looking, pump fakes, scrambling, dumps it off to Bucky. He's got to make a guy miss. Oh, he gets a yard short. Why? Dude, go for the yard marker. But, yeah, Bowles isn't happy about it.
Yeah, if they don't convert this is game over. Huge 4th and 1.
Yeah, and they're going shotgun. I've bad feeling a crappy run's coming. It's a screen to Godwin. He gets the first down. Whew! Chris Godwin Jr. keeps the Bucs season alive.
The screens finally work.
Yeah, right? Gutsy on a 4th down. Man, Mike Evans got ran over too, but
he did enough to sell the
enough.
block. Good enough. Yep. He's 44. So let's go. Let's see what happens. 4:26 left.
New set of downs. Got Tez Johnson, bottom of your screen on the right. Ibuka in the slot. Baker looking for McMillan, who makes the catch. 8 yards. .410 to go. Same receivers on. Otten lines up out wide as well. Oh, Baker gets hit. The ball's out.
Ben Chikuma
I
got
was
beat
told,
by
the game plan's not going to be all that different.
and it is Dolphins ball.
Allows the sack.
That's
like
over.
Chubb. It's a forced fumble. And Dolphins ball.
The offense finally getting to rhythm, moving the ball down the field.
Yep.
And Ben Chikuma gets the sack. That's it, guys. All right, it's going to come down to next week. It appears Seahawks 20-10, 3:40 left in that game in Seattle. I think they have the ball now.
Yeah,
Keep
they're
possession
trying to
game.
drive.
Yep. So it comes down to next week. And next week, and what possibly could be also the final game for Levante David and Mike Evans at home.
That's true.
In Tampa, January 4th. Given the fact that it's TBD to be decided right now, but because the playoff spot is on the line, it's probably going to be a 4:00 game, but we'll see as the week progresses. But
Yeah, I hope it's a 1:00 game. And if Cleveland beats the Ravens, I think that makes Steelers-Ravens winner take all, so likely that'll be the Sunday night game.
yeah, Steelers-Ravens would be a much better game than Bucs-Panthers.
Yeah. And A-Chain with a big run. Yeah, this game's done. This game is done. But yeah, just a reminder again for everybody, we're going to have a Pewter post-game show where A lot of you have heard our opinions, but we'll get Scott's opinions on the game. You still have the 2-minute warning to get to. Kings are awful. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Says, I think even Baker knows he's not getting extended. Hey, man, this just sucks. Sucks.
A Vita Vea sighting. That's a good run stop there.
Yeah, look at that. Just an anger tackle by Vita Vea.
This team just doesn't look like they want it.
No.
There's no energy. So flat on offense, defense, and special teams. I
They're
feel like
their timeouts now. It's a 2nd and 4. Just tough.
Pull up, pop out. 33 says Vita. Who? Yeah, we haven't called him.
Yeah, right.
Quite some time.
Big time yikes.
The real Maverick want to go on vacation. Yeah, a lot of these guys, they look like they want to go on vacation at this point. Their season's on the line. You expect this team to come out with more energy, more fire. There's nothing. It feels like there's some fans that want it more than some of the players.
Yeah. Bart Harley Jarvis, thanks for the $6.99 super chat. Says 2 turnovers on 2 gotta have it drive. Says it all. This is not a serious team, and they don't deserve a shot next week. Embarrassing, disgusting.
Yeah, the NFC South is going to put in a bad team, whether it's the Panthers or the Buccaneers, into playoffs. And I know there was some questioning of if they need to redo kind of how the playoff seeding works because of instances like this where a bad team gets in over a good team. Yeah. Like the Lions are better than both the Buccaneers and the Panthers, for example. But
no question about it.
If you do that, though, you take away the meaning of a division to me. Like it doesn't mean anything to you in your division.
I think a fair tweak and adjustment is you keep the divisions. You still put the importance on if you win your division, as Quinn Ewers is going to run for a first down. That's going to do it. All you do is just a brief tweak. If the wildcard team has a better record, the wildcard team gets the home game for the first round. So in theory, like the Bucs would still get a playoff spot, but they go on the road instead of the home field advantage.
Yeah, I think that's fair. There's still meaning with your division and being your division champ.
HB Livin says, if I'm Mike Evans, I'm getting my own plane home. Yeah. Bowles calls a timeout. It's not really necessary at this point. The good news, I guess, is looks like Seattle's going to close this game out.
Yeah. Q's 44 says, night guys can't take anyone anymore. See you next week. Q's 44. Thank you for watching. Yep.
Three turnovers by the Bucs and 2 very costly ones at the end of the game. Second and 7. Pitch to the outside. 8-chain. Bucs get a stop. So Dolphins will have to run one more play. And who knows? I mean, I don't even know why I'm building this up, but the Bears did get an onside kick against the Packers last week, and that was big. Saints took a 27-26 lead over the Titans. It was 4:54 to go. Third and 5. It's an end around to Washington. Bucs make the tackle. Servasi ain't Dennis. And that is the 2-minute warning, friends. Son the Child, thank you for the $2 super chat, says, guy played 2 games and he's flexing on Tampa. Why not? Everyone else is flexing on Tampa. Steinbauer says, receivers just weren't getting open. I don't know if that's sarcasm or not. Frank G, 4 straight losses. Yeah, that will be. 4 straight. And what, 7 of 8?
Mm-hmm.
Not good, as they say. All right, Seattle scores, so we're going to have winner take all for Crap Mountain, otherwise known as the NFC South. I mean, it's asinine that the Bucs will still have a chance to make the postseason. Asinine. Interesting other game around the league. The Browns are up 13-6 on the Steelers, but the Steelers have the ball with 1:35 to go. They just got a first down. They're right around midfield. If the Steelers win, they will clinch the AFC North. And if they lose, then I believe they play the Ravens, and it's a winner-take-all showdown. Eater wants to know, who are we drafting? Probably an edge rusher. Yeah, what is the scene going to be at Raymond James Stadium next week? Like, if it's win and you're in type of thing. Oh, the Steelers get it down to the 20. Oh, man. Comp JG says it's going to be paper bags and booze. Probably booze like boo and booze as in alcohol, because that's what it takes to watch this team. The Real Maverick says, win and you're in, to lose big the next week. All right, Dolphins going to punt it. And Bucs are going to have to go 50-something yards. Or, sorry, 90-something yards. Sorry, I'm watching like 10 games at once. Whatever, I don't even want to say this out loud, so I'm not going to say it, but I am worried about one other thing.
No, I think I know what you're worried about, man.
Yeah. I'll say it to you once.
Yeah.
Once this game is done. All right, 1:50 to go. Bucs have no timeouts. I hate the way the sunlight is coming through the stadium right now.
Well, that's a positive right there. Look at Chris Godwin Jr.
Yeah, Chris Godwin Jr. all the way down the field. Godwin to the almost a 30. And the Saints are going to score a touchdown as well. Hopefully they can cover -2.5. That would be big. But yeah, nice play by Godwin. The catch and run. Chris Godwin over 100 yards receiving. Good for him.
J-Mac,
all my prop bets just falling by the wayside. That's all right.
All right, another first down there by Kate Otten. Bucs keep you up tempo. We got a minute left.
Minute to go. Let's get a Mike Evans touchdown. Yeah, maybe.
No, but we'll get a
Baker to Evans. Oh, okay. There will be a penalty.
Yeah.
on Douglas. Rasul Douglas. Wow, the Browns got the stop. They're going to win the game.
Wow.
Okay, so it's almost guaranteed Bucs Dolphins will not be Sunday Night Football, which is thank goodness for them. All right, first and goal for the Bucs at the 2. You got to think Mike Evans.
You got to hit Mike.
You're going to do something stupid and run it. Nope. Oh, you got Evans wide open. Touchdown, Mike Evans. Finally, a nice prop bet hits. Mike Evans scores.
Well, now you need the onside kick, and that's near impossible. But let's see.
Yeah.
Low percentage,
I'll play the touchdown real quick.
Yeah.
Very important touchdown by Mike Evans. Laughlin's kick is good. Bucs are down 3.
Yes, Ashley brings up a great point here. The blocked field goal is huge now. Yep, that would have touchdown would have tied the game. Everything rides on this onside kick now.
It does. So I remember the game against the Patriots. Chase McLaughlin had a really good onside kick. They didn't recover it, but it was a sick bounce by Sonny McLaughlin. So, oh boy, here we go. Baker looks disheveled.
Yeah. Remember the one time he stepped up in Cleveland to the press conference? He had the mustache. The long overcoat.
People were saying he looked like one of the wet bandits in Home Alone.
He looked lost.
Here comes the onside kick. McLaughlin. Solid bounce again. Nice play by Miami. And they will win this ball game. So Bucs lose 4 in a row. They've lost 7 of their last 8. And they are 7-9 on the season. As Eater says, loser bowl next week. Yeah, it looks like Seattle's going to beat Carolina. Buddy Rowe says it's over. It is over. Miami's going to take a couple of knees. Bucs are going to lose 20-17. We are going to have the Pewter post-game show coming up in a little bit. So we're going to end this one early. They're just taking a couple of knees. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Sorry the Bucs don't show up, but each and every one of you shows up. So that's it for this show. For Daniel Morales, I'm Matt Matera saying thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next week for another edition of the Pewter Game Day Show.